welcome in. It's a Monday here on the Firm of Harris and Meringue, except for it's just meringue. And I'm all just completely discombobulated now because I'm at a different spot, and somebody stole my mic cover. Nobody, nameless Joe Fisher, notorious thief of mic covers. I'm blaming you without knowing it's you because that's what I do. It's just me today with Rusty behind the glass for the next 2 days, and then, then it's Christmas time, buddy. What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Y'all ready for it?
I'm a very holly jolly Christmas, as you can tell if you're watching here on the YouTubes. Dirt and Sprague had the festivities going. They had their gift exchange. And if one of you guys is listening right now and you perhaps packed up my laptop thinking it was yours, it'd be really cool if you'd bring that back. I'd really appreciate that. So I'm just like looking around like, where's my laptop at? I just put it down. So if I'm laptopless, that's a problem. But hey, it's a holiday weekend. I was talking to old boss man Cooley, and was like, hey, what's a more or less productive week as a boss man? Is it the NCAA tournament or is it Christmas time? And he said, you know what, NCAA tournament, and I asked him specifically, is it more about us?
You left it on your desk.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh, well, maybe I'm an idiot. I brought it in here and then I took it back out. There you go.
Idiot.
Yeah, I'm an idiot. There you go. I accused somebody of stealing my laptop and it was me. No worries. But yeah, apparently I brought it in here and then took it back out when I went back outside because I'm a dummy. There you go. But I asked Cooley what's a less productive week. Which side would you fall on, Rusty? What's a less productive week? NCAA tournament, and not just here, because NCAA tournament for us is like that's a big weekend for us. But in the work world, this week or the NCAA tournament?
Ooh. Well, or could it even be the weekend between Christmas and New Year's?
Yeah, but I feel like people are back in general then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but still, I feel like still just coasting, though.
Yeah, that one's probably more of a lost work time where, like, the way Cooley phrased it, or the way I asked him was, which is less productive. And it's less productive now because everyone is checked out.
Yes.
But the lost man hours is greater in the NCAA tournament because everyone's here, but no one's getting anything done.
Yeah.
So it's one of those kind of situations. So I'm going to fake it for 2 days. But the great news, at least for me, is quite simply that I don't really have to do much because the sports so hard this weekend that we have 11 billion things to talk about.
Lots of stuff.
Did you do anything this weekend as far as the preparation for Christmas? We done with our gifts? We done with the hanging of lights and
lights have been up for a bit. Basically yesterday pretty much wrapped up the Christmas shopping.
Pretty much,
at least for the kiddos.
Oh,
I still got to get something for the wife. I hope she's not listening.
Oh no.
Yeah, but anyway.
Russ, why would you say that out loud?
Well, it is what it is. There's no secrets.
That's fair.
We're in the trust tree.
There you go. I did the thing where I waited until Tuesday morning to order Tiff's gift.
Gotcha.
And I ordered it, and it was like, it will be there by Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got an email on Friday afternoon that it said it was going to be there Wednesday at 9 p.m.
Uh-oh.
And I went, oh, sweet Jesus, please, no. So I told her preemptively, hey, look, this is where it's at. And I got an update, was it Saturday, that it's being delivered today.
There we go.
It was Saturday or something. I don't know. The days blend together.
Yeah.
But I was panicking.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of those things where I was down to deciding between two different presents.
Gotcha.
And I got frozen by fear. I'm not afraid to admit that. I was like, I gotta get this right. Gotta nail this. And I paid for the expedited shipping. And I'm like, why did I pay for the expedited shipping? It's gonna be here on Wednesday.
Right.
What do you mean?
What are we doing here?
Meanwhile, I ordered myself some new workout gear because if you're watching on YouTube, if you paid attention to them last year, I've lost a metric crap ton of weight and I'm swimming in all my clothes.
There you go.
So I was like, you know what? I wanted to actually...
It's a decent problem to have.
Right? It's a good thing to have.
Right.
I was over at my parents yesterday and they're like, hey, we're cleaning out some stuff. We found some of your clothes. And I was like, I had one of my old USC zip-up hoodies that I haven't seen in like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, I wonder if it fits. I put it on. I was like, hey, all right. We're doing well now. And I'm we're just less fat. I mean, come on, that's how it goes. But in all of that, I ordered the workout gear, and I didn't pay for the expedited shipping, and it was coming from Michigan, and immediately it was going to be here on Monday. So something that I ordered, like within 15 minutes of placing the other order, coming from Michigan here on Monday, the other thing that I ordered, which originated in Portland, was going to be here on Christmas Eve at 9 p.m. Also,
Could have walked and gotten it.
right? And then on top of that, the thing that I ordered for her was shipping via USPS.
Mm-hmm.
The Postal Service delivers at 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve?
Sometimes. Yeah.
I thought it was like a federal holiday kind of a deal. Like
Christmas Eve is not a federal holiday.
it's not.
No.
I thought it was.
Just Christmas Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
mean-
Same with New Year's.
For a long time, I didn't get those days off.
Yeah.
So they all blend together for me as
Right.
far as those things go.
Well, and I worked in restaurants for too long too, so you know.
Do you ever work at a
Nobody
Chinese
cares.
restaurant?
Not a Chinese, no.
Okay.
Nope.
I would love to talk to somebody who's worked in a Chinese restaurant and be like, "What was your experience?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just the
Busy nights on Christmas.
right. I mean, it's the simple things that come along with those of like, what weird, crazy, wild stories did you get out of that?
Right.
Friday night we did the PIR, the Winter Wonderland.
Right on.
That's a fun little deal, man.
Yes, we've done that before.
I've never done it before.
We several years back, my wife, for one of her, she did it kind of like for a client party. We rented a double-decker bus and invited a bunch of her clients on there and took the double-decker bus through the PIR light show.
We
So that
saw
was pretty cool. We had some of the coffee containers filled with hot chocolate and schnapps, and yeah,
we did it. Just took my cars, me and her, and we saw a massive Hummer limo wrapped in lights, and apparently there was a bunch of like passenger vans.
gotcha.
So apparently you can do like a catered kind of, bespoke tour of it.
Right.
But I had never done that before. And then I saw we were deciding between that, Peacock Lane, and the ships.
Mm-hmm.
When I looked at the weather Friday night, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I bought the tickets. I think I bought the tickets on Monday, and I was like, well, we could maybe do one, like, you could kind of switch this up. And it was Friday. It was supposed to be complete dumpster fire.
Right.
It was, the atmospheric river was supposed to keep coming down.
Yes.
And I went, that sounds like a terrible, terrible time.
Maybe that eliminates zoo lights.
Right? And that was the thing. That was the other one we were looking at. It was like, all right, let's maybe look at that. And I was like, well, worst case scenario, even if it's raining, we can do PIR, be in the car. And we stopped and grabbed some hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the windows down. It was like 54 degrees.
Yes, it was a nice little day.
I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
We ended up like walking the dogs, I want to say, the next day, and it was a pure unadulterated hellscape because it was just pouring. It was like 40 degrees. And I'm sitting there like, well, we made the right choice as far as like what days to go. But also, did you see the videos coming out of Peacock Lane?
No.
Holy.
Gnarly.
We're
We're talking in terms of weather or traffic.
No, people.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Because they do the Friday night is the pedestrian only
I was
night.
gonna say, yeah, I know they have some nights that, no cars.
Brother,
Yeah.
I did not know that it got like that.
Well, I guess if it's, and if it's going to be that nice of a weather on a Friday night right before Christmas, then yeah, that place will, absolutely.
I mean,
We
it
used to go there every year when I was a kid.
I did it once, I think, when I was like 13 or 14. We've talked about this a little bit. My bah humbugness towards holidays. I don't hate Christmas. I don't hate holidays. I just didn't have. We did stuff when I was a kid, but as like a young adult, I didn't do those things.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I didn't ever form those traditions or anything along those lines, and I was like, kind of ambivalent towards it. Dare I say, I've been bitten by the Christmas spirit bug.
Well, hey, there we go.
It's fun, man.
Yeah.
PIR was a blast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we didn't do the Peacock Lane because what an ass show. It looked like a couple thousand people.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And I was
Not
like,
surprised.
the PIR, I did the Express Pass. I paid like $20 more, and you just bypass everything.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? That's kind of nice. Just kind of scooting in the front of the line and cut off like 30 cars. I was like, and now you're kind of stuck going the speed of the speed, and
Yes.
they tell you you can go however fast or however slow you want. But that didn't bother me.
Yeah.
There was a car in front of us that stopped them, and you turn your headlights off.
Right.
Which, kind of, number one, the guy behind me did not turn his headlights off, and I wanted to get out of the car and yell at him. But beyond that, this car in front of us kept stopping and with there's no headlights
Yeah.
anywhere,
Uh-huh.
and letting their kid, who's probably 5 years old, get out of the car so they could take a picture with the kid in front of the lights.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm just like, look, I know everybody's like going real slow,
Right.
but it's pitch black outside except for the Christmas
Well,
lights.
have a little bit of self-awareness here too.
Right? I'm just like,
Yeah.
and it happened probably like 3 or 4 times. And I'm
that's
just
not
like,
good.
I get it. Like we don't get me wrong. We came to a stop so we could get like a good picture of stuff.
Right.
But that's fine.
Nobody's getting out the
Nobody's-
car.
Yeah, and again, it's not a little kid in the dark. I know I'm sounding like an old man shaking fist at sky right now, but I was just like, that seems kind of dumb,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Not the safest thing in the world.
It's just one of those things where it was just like, is it worth it for that picture? Your kid turns into a speed bump?
Right.
Just,
Yeah. Your kid becomes an advertisement for, bike helmets.
I mean, I'm a walking advertisement for a bike helmet, so I can't like get too mad about that. It's one of those kind of situations where I'm a big dummy that gets hurt. So
Yeah. Well, listen, the reason why you need a helmet is a different story. But
yeah, I know. Look, I'm a little on the old spectrum. So it happens. It's one of those things. But speaking of it happening, college football happened pretty damn hard this
it
weekend.
did.
I'd love to go chronologically, but we are the home of the Ducks. So we're going to start with the Ducks taking on JMU and getting their first college football playoff win of the new era. We'll get to that next here on the Firm of Harrison Meringue here on 105.1 The Fan. Well, following up on the opening segment there, apparently I'm not old guy shaking fist at cloud when it pertains to people letting their kids out on the track at PIR for Christmas lights. That's like watching people go get their picture taken with a buffalo at Yellowstone. Bleep around and find out. Yeah. I mean...
Yep. In the words of Ricky Bobby, that's just dumb.
Yeah, it's just, why? Why would you do it?
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people are asking why would the college football playoff allow a group of 6 teams in. Oregon Ducks handle business 51-34 over James Madison. And, I asked Dirt, what's your single biggest takeaway from this game? And he was like, honestly, man, I don't really have one. It's, it's everybody got out there healthy, which if you're Ole Miss, you can't say the same. Watching that game, it was like, yeah, they're beating the crap out of Tulane, but what was the cost? It seemed like every 3 minutes somebody else was going down.
Right.
It's like, good gravy, guys, get out of this healthy. But the Ducks win 51-34, and they didn't cover.
Nope.
They didn't cover.
They didn't cover. It looked like they were going to have that pretty well in hand.
Yeah, I mean, early on, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
JMU's first drive, watching Alonzo Barrett get out there and...
Barnett?
I said Barrett. Barnett. Throw a pancake block.
Right.
Had me just absolutely juiced. I was like, oh, this guy's built different. He sprung like an 18-yard run on that. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I always miss the first couple of drives because I'm on my way home after doing the pregame show.
Well, I watched the first drive for each team, and then I had to go run errands, and I was watching the rest of the game on my phone. Casey Holdahl called me out because it was the only tweet I had about the game because he gives me crap about being anti-Duck. Because shout out Casey, he's a Duck. But I'm sitting there watching it, and Oregon's just explosive play after explosive play after explosive play after explosive. The first 5 drives, the longest drive they had was like 240.
I think it took 12 plays for their first 3 scoring drives.
I mean, they were chunking the living bejesus out.
4-yard drive followed by a 5-yard drive followed by a 3-yard drive for 3 scores.
Just like, oh.
Yeah, they were humming.
Okay, this is going to be a thing. But coming out of this game, Oregon handled business. You go in the half up, what was it, 34-6 at the half, and you're like, all right, let's go ahead and salt this thing away. And then they kind of screwed around.
Yep.
And, some backups certainly got in for Oregon, but Dante's out there all game. Your running backs are out there all game. Your wide receivers are out there all game because you played with your food a little too much. And I'm not sitting here like beating the drum of like, oh, this is scary. But number one, give JMU some credit.
Yeah.
They're down 34-6 at halftime, and they kept going.
Yep.
That's a fun little team. Obviously they're losing their coach again, but you just kind of look at what they've done and the path. We Harris and I talked about this last week. This is JMU's path, man. Like they'll build and build and build, and then they'll go. And they'll build and build and build, and they'll go.
Yep.
See if they can continue doing that again. It'll be pretty fun.
What did we say last week? I think just 5 years removed from the FCS playoffs,
and they're in the college football playoff, and they acquitted themselves.
Yes, yeah,
they were not Tulane. Tulane, oh boy,
yeah.
Yeesh. In that same vein, Oregon goes out there. Dante looked really good until he didn't. He had a couple moments where you're like, but this is a team you can afford to do that against, right? So if you're going to do that. I think for me, the biggest takeaway is what Dan Lanning said. Oregon fell short of the standard.
Yeah.
Despite the win. But again, at this point in time, this is the spot that you want to be in. If you're going to make mistakes in the college football playoff, you want to do it in a win. You don't want to go out there and have what happened to you against Ohio State, where Jeremiah Smith was on the 4th play, just goes, meow, and road runners his way to the end zone. You're like, ooh, that's not good. Here's a question for you, Duck fans. You've now won a college football playoff game in this era. Does it matter to you? I heard the boys in the morning talking about, this was an improvement.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, it's
technically it is, but do you feel like it's an improvement over last year's team? Is it an accomplishment?
I think we got to get through next week.
And that's kind of the interesting thing. Yeah, they won. They won a college,
but New Year's.
Yeah, the next game.
Yeah,
I
guess technically it is next week.
It is technically the next week in the college football playoff. But is this something you put up? Like, let's go to full New York Knicks. You hanging the banner?
right? I don't think I'm hanging the banner. But look, you went out and you took care of business, and you did what you needed to do. You got out with the W. You got out healthy. You got some guys back and got them back into some game action before heading into what should be a very tough matchup on New Year's Day against Texas Tech.
Yeah, and I'd say we'll hammer that game, but we'll hammer that game in a week and a half, right? That's when we'll get to it. But Oregon did the thing they needed to do, which was be explosive, be aggressive, and that was the kind of the question we had coming into the game: is how aggressive will they be?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. Jamari Johnson, 41-yard touchdown catch.
Dude,
That was pretty aggressive.
that snag was nuts.
It's a big old boy.
Boy,
When he went up the middle and the linebacker turned with him, I'm like, nope, it's the wrong level of athlete.
yeah.
It was over as soon as he. I mean, it's the old adage: if I'm even, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
and
that was another one where I didn't get to see it live. I was still in the car, but yeah, once I saw the replay, I was like, oh, that's what Jerry was talking about.
yeah, it was that. I mean, that was a hell of a play. You had Deere Hill, who seemingly every time he touched the ball was gone.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, see you later, bye. Like
lightning.
he is fast. Jordan Davison, who I think has been kind of quiet for the last couple of weeks. He ended up getting the yeoman's effort as far as the carries go.
Mm-hmm.
What's really interesting is they had 26 rushes, 27 passes. They just were scoring so fast that they didn't really string much together.
Right.
It was just, JMU threw the ball almost 50 times, 49 passes. They ran the ball 35 times.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts to JMU for being able to run the ball. That was the question of, can they run the ball? Can they be effective? Wayne Knight had the 49-yarder. Alonzo Barnett, Alonzo just comes out too easy. He's able to be a dude. And I think the thing that comes out of this for me is they took good care of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Oregon didn't have as many negative plays as I thought they would have. They did end up getting a couple sacks. They did get a couple tackles in the backfield. But where they were disruptive, they broke up 11 passes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what you want to see, because I was talking to Dirt about Oregon and why it's not just who they're playing as far as, like, the level of team. Like, obviously, JMU is not Ohio State. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing I've started thinking about with this Oregon team, I've thought about this for the last couple of days, is the way things line up, but not only against JMU, but also against Texas Tech, is the two best passing teams that Oregon has played this year, Indiana and USC. What did they do? They threw the ball over the yard on them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Trophy winner, Surratt and Cooper are great wide receivers. Jaden Miles was a very good quarterback. Makai Lemon was the Biletnikoff winner. Jacoby Lane's an absolute monster. Tanook Hines is another dude. You've got great to very good quarterback play and elite wide receiver play. Not every team is going to have that. But Oregon now, against both JMU and now going up against Texas Tech, they're going to play better passing games, but Baron Morton's not a quarterback that I look at it's like I'm terrified of.
Right.
Jaden Miles is scary. Fernando Mendoza is scary.
Mm-hmm.
And this actually lines up really well for Oregon because they're the way they play defense, the bend, don't break, limit things, make teams march down the field. Unless you are a scary quarterback, it's going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they did give up 34 to JMU, and Lanning's going to have his, Lanning and Lupoy are both. I mean, did you catch the press conferences?
No.
Lupoy looked like he was going to bite through steel.
He didn't like that second half.
No. I mean, and to be fair, you shouldn't.
Right.
But also, it's not the sky is falling, right?
Yeah.
You got it 34-6 at half. You maybe got a little high on your own supply.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who amongst us?
Yeah. And you're going to naturally kind of take your foot off the gas a little bit. Can I say one thing, though, just a total squirrel moment? I'm a little bummed that even like on the 49-yard run from Wayne Knight, and maybe they were waiting for a Wayne Knight touchdown or something, can we get one, hello, Newman?
Just work that in for you. A little Newman action. Lanning, despite winning his first college football playoff game, there's a standard here. There's certainly a standard of performance. Our players know that, and they know what championship football looks like, and the second half didn't look like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked angry that he just won a college football playoff game.
Yeah, well, because that's a guy. He's going to go. He's going to parse through, and he's going to find the stuff that they did wrong that he doesn't like.
He's got
And
10 days
that
of
is-
tape.
Yes, and that is what that's what is going to stick in his craw for the next 10 days. And he's like, "This is what we are working on this entire damn week and a half. So this does not happen again because we can't allow this to happen against a Texas Tech."
The talent profile at Texas Tech is significantly higher.
Mm-hmm.
And if you make those kind of mistakes, here's the thing. They aren't going to be up 34-6. Very unlikely. Texas Tech's defense is very good.
Mm-hmm.
But I do wonder if this was maybe the best case scenario. You get out healthy. You have guys out there for most of the game.
Yep.
You get DeCorian Moore back out on the field. You're like, okay, yeah, you just had a catch. But, hey, back on the field. Pads are
some reps.
popping.
Live
Cool.
reps.
That's good.
Yes.
That's a good step forward, right? Now you've got Dan Lanning can sit there for the next 10 days when they're grinding ahead of the Orange Bowl and point to, do you see this? This is unacceptable.
Right.
We don't allow this. And I think that puts them in a position where they weren't in that going up against Ohio State in the first round last year, where they go undefeated, they win the Big Ten title, they handle business in a way that maybe you're a little bit comfortable and you have that time off. Now we're going to see what Texas Tech looks like with that time off. Oregon got probably everything they needed out of this game. You get the win. Everybody comes out healthy. You have the tape. Maybe you have even a little chip on your shoulder about how you played.
Yeah.
So you come into this next game now
Yeah.
a little more ready.
Yeah. A little more fire under your butt.
I think I would argue at this point that is probably the best possible outcome for Oregon. Let's say they win this thing 48-13.
Right.
Is that better for them?
Because they're going to feel like they went out and they prepared and did what they felt like they should do. And,
Tulane and Ole Miss.
And granted, still, even if they went out and won 48-13 or what have you, Dan Lanning would still go find things to be ticked off about. You know what I mean? And there would still be those things to work on. That stack of papers might be a little bit shorter, but he's still going to find them. But yeah, so
he doesn't have to dig through the tape.
Yeah, and so I think, like to your point, these next 10 days are going to be a good. Let's find out some more about ourselves here as we prepare.
I do love Lanning's line. He was asked the question he was asked was if he would describe what emotion he was feeling, and Lanning responded with, "I probably wouldn't describe it." Love that.
Yes, not for not approved for the airwaves by the FCC.
Yes. Well, speaking of not describing it, I don't want to describe what the hell I watched in that Texas A&M Miami game. But let's dive into that next, because what in the world was that game? But first, here's the Big Kahuna with the Sports Center update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Week 16 in the NFL wraps up this evening with the Colts hosting the 49ers on Monday Night Football. Colts loss would clinch playoff spots for the Bills, Chargers, and Jaguars. The 49ers have already clinched a spot in the NFC side. 5:15 kick on ABC and ESPN. The Niners are 5.5-point favorites. ChiefsDigest.com reporting quarterback Gardner Minshew feared to have suffered a torn ACL. That's just a week after starter Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL. Third stringer Chris Oladokun, a 2022 seventh-round pick out of South Dakota State, took over in the 26-9 loss to the Titans. Blazers are riding a 3-game heater, hosting the Pistons tonight as they're set to honor the 1999-2000 team at Moda Center. 7 o'clock tip on KUNP. That is 2.2 on your antenna. Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday still out with a calf strain. Jeremy Grant questionable with Achilles soreness. The Blazers are 5.5-point dogs. Over in college football, Notre Dame, BYU announcing a home-and-home series in 2026 and 27. That means that next season, Notre Dame and USC will not play for only the second time in the last 80 years. And multiple reports say Bobby Petrino agreeing to become the next offensive coordinator under Bill Belichick at UNC. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of prime time with Isaac and Sue. Weekdays 3 to 7. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
selfishly after watching Texas A&M and Miami, where Miami pulls the upset, question mark. My number one takeaway is Ruben Bain, you are a Las Vegas Raider. Because that Miami defense, good gravy. Hey, New Orleans Saints, you want to trade up from that 7-8 spot to the number 2 overall pick to go take Dante Moore? Go for it. We'll take whatever draft capital you've got that's not nailed down, and I will take Ruben Bain on the opposite side of Max Crosby for the next 5 years. Because good gravy. What an absolute freak of nature Ruben Bain is. Miami pulls the upset. I don't know if you really want to call it an upset, number 10 against number 7 in the rankings.
Well, I mean, technically it is.
Both teams were teams that, played Notre Dame close and pulled off wins. Miami at home, A&M on the road. Ruben Bain finished the game with 5 tackles, 4 solo, 3 sacks, 4 TFLs. If you have not watched Miami yet this year and you saw Ruben Bain and Keontae Scott, the linebacker, 10 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, you saw what makes Miami scary. Because it sure as hell ain't Carson Beck. Goodness gracious. 14 of 20 was what 107? 103 and a touchdown.
Yeesh.
You also saw Malachi Toney, who had the most insane, topsy-turvy, least productive, most impactful game I've ever seen a player have. 3 rushes for 9 yards, 5 catches for 22 yards, and the only touchdown, and a punt return for 55 yards that, if not for a shoestring tackle, is in the end zone. What did Miami do with that punt return? Abso-freaking-lutely nothing! Nothing! Why? Because their kicker has 3 left feet. What was happening in this game? What was happening?
Oh, man.
You saw the wind push one just dead right.
Yeah.
The toe stub, where you're like,
Yeah, pulled the old Young Wei Koo.
I was like, what is happening? Malachi Toney, despite having impactful plays, also coughed up the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, Bryce Fitzgerald on the back end says, Marcel Reed, thank you very much. 2 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
I just, 0-0 at halftime?
Yeah, gross.
What? Every time, both these teams got in the red zone, they just puked all over themselves.
Yeah, pretty much.
All over themselves.
Yeah, it was gross.
Number one, yes. Number one, credit to both defenses. Credit to both defenses were diabolical. Just making play after play after play after play after play.
Mm-hmm.
But goodness gracious. I mean, it was a very, 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 very good game in the sense of Texas-Ohio State to open the season.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Very reminiscent of somebody please do something.
Yeah.
But every time somebody did something, say Malachi Toney looks like he's going to house it, you get a shoestring tackle that saves a punt return touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And when he didn't get that, I looked at that and I went, oh, that was a big play for A&M. That might be the one that seals this. If they can stand here, and then they stand, and you're going, all right, Marcel, here's your chance. Oh, nope. Nope, we're not going to get that. And we talked about A&M with Danny Cannell last week on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And Marcel Reed came up. And, the profile of this A&M team, whether it's Casey Concepcion, who's one of the best wide receivers in the country, how impactful he could be. Well, he coughed up the ball. Marcel Reed coughed up the ball twice. The difference is, against South Carolina, when they made that miraculous comeback against Beamer and the boys, Marcel Reed went from having the worst first half you've ever seen a quarterback have to maybe having the best second half a quarterback's ever had.
Mm-hmm.
He had no halves. And every time he made a play, he went full Yosemite Sam and fired that thing off in the holster into his foot.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, this is the volatility of college football. And as much as I want to crap on Carson Beck for being so unproductive, you know what he didn't do?
Turn it over?
Didn't make the mistake. He didn't make the mistake. And I'm not giving him credit for having this great game.
Right.
Because when you throw for 103 yards, that ain't great.
No.
But what did he do in the end? He made the play. Now, Malachi Tony made the play, but you got him the ball.
Yeah.
Malachi Tony is the, I don't want to say the Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams of this year as a freshman, but he's the most impactful freshman in the country. And that sets up Miami kind of going forward is you know what Miami is.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to make the mistake. Their defense is nasty.
Yes.
Between Tech and Miami, you have the two best front sevens in college football.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Dirt and Sprague, the Sunrise guys, they were talking about that this morning, saying just the defensive turnaround in Miami just from one offseason.
Remember last year, what was Miami's problem? They couldn't stop anybody.
Yeah, exactly. So to have it, it change that much in one offseason, that's remarkable. And even I think it made Dirt throw up a little bit in his mouth when he had to say, it's like, all right, I got to give Mario his flowers here. So
now the offense is just, running on fumes would be an improvement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But on the flip side, A&M's really good.
Mm-hmm.
A&M's really good. It was a team that coming into this, I was like, if they made a run, it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't go that far with Miami, but for me, I'm just tipping my hat to Miami. Tipping my hat to Cristobal because we talked about this last week. And it was Thursday or Friday. The idea of what coach it mattered for.
Mm-hmm.
Was Miami lost their last 6 bowl games?
Sure. Sounds fair.
Or maybe it was Mario. I'm
Could be
conflating
Mario.
the stats. Did Mario get over the hump?
I think that look, because like we were talking about with Oregon, and is it impressive enough beating JMU? Texas A&M is no slouch. So
no,
that's and again, not to sell JMU short, but Miami won a legitimate playoff game
on the road.
Yes,
at Kyle Field.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? 112,000 or 102,000?
Yeah, I don't know exactly, but that's a lot.
It's a lot of people.
Yes.
It's attendance for the game was 104,122. So they had some SRO.
Yeah,
that's a big old place, and that's a large Colt.
Yep.
But you just kind of look at it up and down the board. A&M more yards, more first downs, way better on third downs, 8 of 18 versus Miami's 3 of 12. Time of possession not too far off, but it was almost 34 minutes to 26 minutes. But the key in here, turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
A&M shot themselves in the foot. 3 turnovers, Miami won.
Yep. There you go.
And Miami missed 3 field goals.
Yeah.
You missed 3 field goals in a game that you won 10-3.
Are the Eagles looking to draft their kicker?
Buddy. Don't underestimate how impressive and important it is to have a great kicking game in college.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm so glad Miami won this game for one person and one person only.
Mm-hmm.
That Miami kicker.
There we go. Yeah.
Because if you go out there and you do that and this score is flipped,
you're having a rough weekend.
You're having a rough 5 years.
That's why you gotta love it. Dan Lanning calls him Automaticus.
Having that kicking game matters.
Yeah.
It absolutely matters. We got our first quasi upset. That kind of I want to pivot here a little bit before we keep going into some games. Coming up next, the college football playoff, the first round is done. What do we know after 2 years? And do we need to make another slight little tweak to that? We'll get to that next here on the Firm of Harrison Meringue, 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan.
first round of the college football playoff has concluded. And with that, there's a lot of talk about, well, group of 5, group of 6, whatever the heck you want to call it, and why they shouldn't be there. Tulane and JMU, rah, rah, rah. Whatever, man. Tell the ACC to get their S together. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, then we'll only have one group of 6 team in there.
Exactly. But Brandon Marcello over at CBS Sports, this is a thought that I had. I started looking into it. He did the work for me. So shout out Brandon. As a posture point, when looking at this, as far as the first round of college football playoff through the first 2 years, he said, let's provide the public with a reminder. First round games in last season's CFP were decided by, you know what, let me ask you this. What's the average score that points were decided by in the first round last year?
Well,
Take a wild guess.
Well, I know that Oregon game, that wound up being, 42-21?
A little bit closer than the game was, but yeah.
Yeah. So tell you what, let's start with like 20 points as a jumping off point.
Very good, sir. 19.3.
There we go. Check out the big brain on Brad.
So last year's first round games were absolute butt kickings.
Yes.
Nearly 3 scores.
And that was when you had all conference winners in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, they also featured 0 upsets.
Yeah.
0.
I'm sorry. We had all conference winners in the for the buys.
By the
I'm sorry,
buys,
excuse
yes.
me.
I knew what you were saying.
I
I should have
misspoke.
corrected you. Yeah. But last year, 0 upsets.
Yeah.
What did you have this year?
Several?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You did 2.
Yeah.
Did 2.
There we go.
Alabama knocking off Oklahoma 34-24. And then you had Miami 10-3.
Mm-hmm.
And you had it with teams that were 9 and 10. Like, good, arguably the 2 best games of the weekend.
Yeah.
You had upsets.
Yes. Yep.
Isn't this what you want?
Right?
Are you not entertained?
Exactly.
I'd argue it's working. Yes, Ole Miss beat the living tar out of Tulane.
Yes.
And
also, again, Tulane only in there because the ACC can't decide their tiebreakers properly.
And the worst losses in the first round last year featured Ohio State beating the crap out of Tennessee by 25.
Mm-hmm.
And then Penn State beat SMU by 4 touchdowns. So everybody talking about the group of 6, group of 5, rah, rah, rah. Tennessee and SMU, the ACC and the SEC got their teeth kicked in.
Yeah. Well, now the next thing will be, too, because remember last year, all 4 teams that got the first round bye lost.
Mm-hmm. Now let's see what happens. But for Tech, Ohio State, Georgia, Indiana. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Now, the matchups, I would argue, because they did seeding better this year.
Yeah.
We all agree with that, right?
Fair enough.
So, looking at that right now, since the CFP debuted in 2014 with the 4-team format, the average margin of victory, 17.5 points. For the group of 6 teams, the average margin of defeat is 21.5. 71% of CFP games, 32 of 45, have been decided by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference between your Power 4 and the group of 5 is 4 points.
That's not a lot, Bob.
So this whole idea of like, yeah, but, and that's when you add in Ole Miss throttling Tulane by 31.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, you're going to have some sideways ones in there. But SMU, Tennessee, are those group of 4 or Power 4 schools? Yeah. And they got their teeth kicked in.
Yeah. I mean, technically, SMU.
I mean, yeah. I mean, ACC.
I know, and they won the conference last year, so I get it.
But
still, ACC almost feels like a group of 6 conference.
sure.
At this
But
point.
Oregon JMU, what did it end at? 17.
Yeah.
That's the average margin of defeat in first rounds for Power 4 schools.
Yep.
What did JMU do? Did they acquit themselves? Yeah. They hit the average. In fact, they beat it by half point. Meanwhile, Oklahoma, Alabama, it's a 10-point game. Double-digit game. Now, Miami A&M, they set some records, but it was more of the futile type.
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to make another change?
This is the thing that's been said, is that I think where the change needs to be made is the ACC getting out of their own damn way.
That's part of it.
And that's going to help.
But here's where I would argue the change should be made. reseeding the second round.
Okay.
Reseeding the second round.
Gotcha.
So your number 1 seed, yes, you get the bye, but also reseed it. Now, for me, I would love that because you know what can't happen then? The TV networks can't set up their rounds.
Right.
They could
So
try.
yeah.
They could try, but if they get an upset, guess what happens? Uh-oh, sorry.
Yeah. So
Because if you
probably
did,
not going to happen then.
if you did that this way, right now, Indiana would play Miami. So you'd have Indiana, Miami. You'd have one there, and then Ohio State would play. I had this written down, but
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yes.
You telling me you don't want to see Ohio State,
And
Alabama?
then Georgia would have.
Ole Miss.
Okay.
No.
Hang on here.
Yes, Ole Miss,
Yes, Ole
and
Miss,
then and then
okay.
you would still get Tech, Oregon.
Yes. There we go.
So everything would change except for that. So Oregon fans, you don't get host here.
Right. I think we still got. I mean, look, this next round, I don't see a single like bad, unentertaining matchup.
No, I think all of them are
They're all bangers.
So Ohio State, Miami is the only one that's more than a score.
Right.
That's 9.5. I
Yep.
feel like that line's maybe a bit too high. If it stays at 9.5, I think I would take Miami to cover that.
Are you saying because of Miami's defense, it's
Yes.
a little too high? Yeah.
Yes, I would probably if it was 8.5, I would probably be leery of that.
Gotcha.
But I think Miami because of their defense should be getting a little bit more love. But Miami's offense, so I'm using this in a kind of a transitive property. We saw what Ohio State and Indiana was.
Mm-hmm.
I think Miami's defense that front seven especially is better than Indiana's, but their offense is severely lacking.
Right.
Indiana's offense is leaps and bounds better than Miami's.
Funny how that goes when you have a Heisman Trophy winner.
Turns out it's pretty helpful.
Yes.
Pretty helpful.
Pretty helpful.
But I think if we're going to make a tweak, it's not to the first round. I think they've got it nailed down.
Right. Yeah. I think, yeah. Because, yes, we had some good games. We had some good games. And, outside of, again, probably that one G6 team that,
Which is going to happen.
Shouldn't have been there.
It could happen to a G6 team. It can happen to an ACC.
Yeah.
Who's to say, I'm going to say it, that Notre Dame doesn't go in there and get mopped by somebody.
Right? Exactly.
It can happen.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Yep. Especially since, maybe Marcus Freeman's going to the Giants. Maybe that's weighing out in their minds.
Great hire for the Giants. If it happens, bad move by Marcus.
Right?
Bad move by Marcus.
Well, but if you have your chance to go to
I get it.
he's got the young quarterback there.
And you know what? That's fair.
And he's
They
got the
do
young
have
quarterback
Jackson.
there.
They do have
and then
Neighbors.
next year,
They do have Cam.
Yeah, and you'll get Cam Scattaboo back. You'll get Malik Neighbors
And
back.
you have a number 1 or number 2 overall pick. It's between them and the Raiders.
Yeah.
And how that ends up working.
Go get
out.
yourself a lockdown edge rusher or something. Tackle. I don't know. I'm not terribly
trade back. If I am the Raiders or the Giants,
There
I
we
am
go.
trading back in this
Okay.
draft. And people have texted in like the Raiders need a quarterback. I'm aware. I don't want any of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm good.
This is not one of those years, I think, where you want to go up and try to take somebody in like the top 10 or so.
You want to if New Orleans or who do they have? They had somebody else trading up. Who do they have? Miami. If you want to let New Orleans or Miami trade up in the 1 or 2 spot, go with God. For all the Oregon fans out there, you just don't like Dante. I don't like Fernando either.
Yeah.
As a Raiders fan, I don't want either of those guys as my quarterback.
Well, you don't think the Saints are just going to settle on Tyler Shuck?
Oh yeah, ride that train, baby, ride that train. But if that's where you're at, go ahead and get out of there. All right, we're gonna pivot to the NFL here coming up next because look, college football delivered, but boy did Green Bay Chicago deliver. I want to get into this Bears game because what an absolutely epic closing that game for the Chicago Bears. Are the Bears for real? We'll get to that next here in hour number 2 of the Firm of Harrison Ring on 105.1 The Fan. Hour number 2 here on the Firm of Harrison Meringue here on a Monday morning. No Harris. He is out all week here on Christmas week. I will be here today and tomorrow, and then we pack it up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for Christmas. I will be out Monday and Tuesday, and hopefully not Wednesday, but I'm having surgery on Christmas Eve, so we're going to play that one by ear and see just how jacked up I get. So, speaking of getting jacked up, college football,
I still remember a couple of those shows after your hip surgery.
We did the first ones. We did check-ins from home, and Dusty would text me with, "How you feeling?" I'm like, "Good,
I'm great.
I'm
man.
great." Yeah, they gave me the fentanyl for the first couple of days because they wanted me drooling on myself. And then I did a couple where it was just heavy doses of Percocet. And then when I finally came back in the studio, my first day back, I remember sitting in that chair, grabbing 3 Percocet and chewing them up because I was in so much pain. And Dusty looked at me like, "You good?" I'm like, "I already took 3." He's like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Brother, I've taken these things like Skittles for the last 20 years. The only thing I'm doing is keeping myself upright."
Next thing we know, we're going to find you over there sitting in your chair like Stephen Hawking.
Well, that's the thing is like, I've mentioned this before. It's not a good thing. I have taken so many painkillers over the last 20 years. I don't even get to enjoy them anymore.
Yeah.
Like it is like, it's not quite, but it's like me taking Advil.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't get to like quote unquote feel anything
Right.
out of them anymore.
Yeah.
Every 6 months or so, I switch up what I'm taking, whether it's Percocet, hydrocodone, or oxys. They just kind of flip me through them, so the tolerance doesn't build up. I had to do a bunch of labs for the surgery I'm having right now, and they do all the blood work and kidney and liver tests and all those kind of things. And when I told them how many painkillers I'd probably taken over the last 20 years, they're like, "How are you not in like what is it, renal failure?" I'm like, "I got lucky."
Right.
That's pretty much what it comes down to. I thankfully, because of the hip surgeries, I don't have to just chew them up all the time. I have days that come and go with them, but yeah. Here's a new little change for you. I'm having I mentioned this before. I have a deviated septum. I've had it my whole life. I had one of those situations where I was at the doctor 3 weeks ago, and we were doing the kind of an end of year checkup. I was having some things, before the end of the year, like, "Hey, everything's paid up, so let's make sure we can get anything done we need to get done before the end of the year."
Mm-hmm.
And doctor hits me with, "Anything else?" I go, "Well, you know what, man, I've lost a ton of weight. I'm back to running. And, even 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I was in stupid good shape, I was running 10, 12 miles a day. I could do that with a 45-pound plate carrier vest on. And even back then, I had to run through my mouth with my mouth open like a Neanderthal."
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things where I was like, I've mentioned this story. Like, I had a lieutenant who I loved to death, but he was old school.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy who gave me multiple wall-to-wall counseling situations, right? And I thank God for him, because it humbled me and it got me to learn things that I would not have learned otherwise. But he taped my mouth closed when I was running once.
That's not safe.
Well, I did it, and I got to the end of it, and I about near blacked out.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I thought bluntly that I was just a bitch. Like he breathe through your nose, breathe through your nose, breathe through your nose. And I did, but I almost blacked. Like, when I say I almost blacked out, I mean fell to my knees, gasped for air for about 5 to 7 minutes.
He tried to pull a Brian Kelly on you and be like, "You're going to get up in that scissor lift."
Yeah.
Hope y'all had a shitty day.
Pretty much. Because I had never complained about it. I just did what I needed to do, which was run with my mouth open.
Right.
And that should have been the trigger of something's wrong, but the masculinity part of the military.
You're a dumb kid.
Yeah, and that part of it too was like, my lungs suck.
Yeah. It's like, you didn't know that wasn't how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
It was the same. Honestly, it was the same situation with my eyes.
Mm.
For the longest time, I sat in the front of the room, not because I was a giant nerd. I wanted to be a chemist when I was a kid. Who am I kidding? But I did it because I couldn't see. And I remember when I finally got glasses, my parents driving me back home, and I was sitting in the passenger seat, and I went, "Oh my gosh!" I was 12.
Mm.
I was like, I can see individual blades of grass. My mom cried because she was like, "Oh my God!" But the school never caught it.
Right.
Because here was the thing: is I would memorize the eye chart.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm Rain Man.
Yeah.
Just 87.
242 toothpicks.
Yeah. That's just what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm having this surgery done. I went in, And, you know, I go in, they kept me in the next day at the ENT. Shout out Great Insurance. And the surgeon, the doctor's also the surgeon, she's like, all right, let's go ahead and do this. They shoot this spray in your nose, which is kind of like Afrin, but like on another level.
Uh-huh.
And number one, did you know Afrin is highly, highly, highly addictive?
Well, you're not supposed to use it for more than like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got to use it every hour for 3 days.
Eesh.
And I'm like, it makes it feel good, apparently. But
Mhm.
I'm also going to be jacked up because of the surgery. Anyways, they check the left side, and they're like, you've got like 100% airflow on the left side. I go, yeah, no, I've never had any issues. She goes, what would you say like your airflow is on the right side? And I was like, 60, 65%. Like, I definitely notice it now that I'm more aware of it.
Right.
And if you've never had like your nose checked, and I'm not talking about the doctor where they just stick like the one they put in your nose and your ears, like
Right.
do that check. She did that after the spray, and it, like takes your nasal lining and like it just like calms down. So
Mhm.
you're like, oh, this feels good. She's like, yeah, you're still not good. Like on the right side. She
Uh-huh.
goes, let's go ahead and take a look at this. And they take this scope that is about 18 inches long. It looks like some alien probe.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
I
like the early COVID tests.
bro, on steroids.
That tickle your brain.
This thing was in my brainstem, and it's a camera. And she starts it like, up about an inch,
Oh,
and then like 2 inches, and then it felt like it was like 12 inches in my brain. And
no, thank you.
I got some version of like, let me put this in cartoon terms for you. Your nose takes a right turn at Albuquerque. And long story short, there's like a U joint in my nose because I have a piece of cartilage that's in there
Right.
that completely jacks everything up. So they're going to go in. So my hip surgery for the first one, my right one, which is the worst of the two by orders of magnitude,
Mhm.
that was supposed to be a 45-minute long arthroscopic surgery. It ended up being 5 hours and 40 minutes.
That sounds a lot longer.
They found, like I've mentioned this before, I had over 100 tears from the front of my groin to the back of my glutes, and my labrum was completely gone. Avascular necrosis, my hips are fried. So this surgery is supposed to be an hour and a half. Why? My nose is very small.
Well, yeah, but it's delicate up there.
So here's what they're doing. If you're eating, sorry, they're going to shave a chunk.
Earmuffs.
Yeah, they're going to go in, cut my nasal lining away, and shave away bone in the bottom of my nose. And I'm like, that sounds like it sucks.
Yeah. Well, that's getting way up there too.
Well, that's just the front part, and then there's a
Well, because you gotta travel a ways till you get to the bone, and
Right.
not just cartilage.
exactly, and then they're going to shave away this bump of cartilage in the top.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, I go, what are the potential drawbacks? She goes, well, infection. I go, yeah, I'm aware of those. I've had 15 surgeries. Like that's nothing new.
Yeah.
She goes, well, she goes, I've done thousands of these, and it's only happened twice. And I go, but
Mm-hmm.
she goes, sometimes they don't heal all the way through, and you get a hole in your nose, and your nose will whistle. And I'm like, pardon me? She goes, yeah, it'll whistle. I go, like every breath? She goes, yeah.
yeah. So,
I'm like, whistle while you work?
yeah. So if you can train that to control it, guess what? They're bringing back Star Search, my dude.
All right. Play hot cross buns in my nose. I was like, oh, sweet Jesus. Please, please don't let that be the thing that happens. The other one is that my voice could change.
Mhm.
Now, not drastically. Like I've been doing some version of hearing my own voice for 14 years.
Right.
I know what my voice sounds like. I hate my voice.
Everybody in this profession, they always say that, whether it's radio, TV, whatever. Nobody can stand the sound of their own voice.
I mean, because you edit stuff, or like when I'm talking now, I have headphones on, not so I can just hear you or hear us.
Mhm.
It's so we can hear ourselves, so we can get our feedback and all those kind of things, and
Right.
make sure that things are coming. It's an in-ear monitor. I do the
Yes.
same thing on TV. I hate my voice,
Mhm.
but I also know that I'm nasally when I talk, and
I don't think you're that nasally.
it's there. You know, when you hear it all the time, you pick up on all the idiosyncrasies and all those things. Tiff did an impersonation of me over the weekend, which I did not find very funny. I was like,
Hitting a little too close to
I
home.
was like, I know that's what I sound like. You don't need to do that to me. That's rude.
Be cool, honey bunny.
Yeah, I was like, we don't need to do that for everybody else to see, particularly me. I know what it is. But that going away, and they said the resonance in your voice will change.
Mhm.
I know people have said that they can't hear me sometimes when I talk. I don't project. Even though I'm loud, I don't really project my voice.
Right.
And I'm wondering if that will change.
Well, there's just some of those times where, like, at the end of a thought or a sentence or whatever,
I trail off.
You just managed to trail off.
I'm also a guy who moves around a ton. And so these, standstill mics, not my friend.
Well, yeah, and you got to talk into it.
Yes.
Into it.
Which, again, somebody stole my mic cover, Joe. Put it back.
Somebody's not sour.
It's mine. I spit all over it. I had to grab the random spare. Look, God knows how many people have used this. And I've been because look, over the course of a show, you will eventually turn your head and drag your face or lips across this.
Right. Yeah.
It
it'll
happens.
Happen. Yep.
I want it to be my face that drags across this and nobody else's.
Yeah. I one time a while back, I think in a show changeover, I think mine got absconded with, and I got left with the other one. Speaking of which, something just flew off this thing right as I said that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, so.
But it's been months.
Yeah,
So now it's mine again.
Yeah, right? But still, don't steal my mic cover.
Yeah.
Joe. I know it's you. I accuse Sprague of doing something other than
that's why I don't understand how you all keep those in there just in that bin. It's like, how do you know whose is whose?
All of ours are different.
You know?
Mine doesn't have the little lip on the end. It's a flat one. It's the only flat one in the bunch.
Because like I keep mine in a separate compartment in my lunch bag.
Right.
Where it just lives there by itself and it comes out when I'm here and
Rob,
that's it.
Rob, because he's a germaphobe, keeps his in his little bag over here. And
exactly.
He also has, the way he arranges things or doesn't arrange things over here, and that if you leave anything else over here that's not his, it will not be here when you come in next time. It all moves over here.
What the hell is this? I don't need this.
Yeah, this is not mine. This is my space.
What are you guys doing here?
Yeah, I'm having surgery on Christmas Eve, and I'm not worried about it, but all of my family members, my sister has worked for an ENT before, and she's like, I don't think you realize how bad this is going to be. So hopefully I'll be back on Wednesday, knock on whatever this is.
Yeah.
I managed to kill an entire segment with this.
Marble.
So, coming up next, we will dive into that Bears-Packers game because I watched that from the K2 studio on a very small screen and absolutely lost my mind with what Caleb Williams did to close that fourth quarter and then in overtime and put on a hell of a performance in a game that mattered. We'll get to that next year on the Firm of Harrison Brang here on 105.1 The Fan. We're up against it here, so I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter. I want to give the Bears-Packers game a full segment, so we'll get to that next. As I was prepping for the show, I was digging through some stuff, and I showed you this, Rust. And the Jags-Broncos game, we'll get to that game a little bit later today because that game deserves a segment because, holy crap, Duval! Jags are for real.
My touchdown Jesus right there.
Jags kicker Cam Little, pregame in Denver at altitude. Hey, Jeff, did you know Denver, mile high? Did you know they play at 5,280 feet?
No, I only hear it from the Nuggets about every single time the Blazers play them, and they put it on their jerseys even, just in case you didn't know.
Good gravy. With that said, Cam Little hit the 68-yarder earlier this year. He was warming up for the game. He was hitting it from the 38-yard line on the opposite side of the field. 72 yards, and it was good from 7 or 8 more. That is absolutely bonkers.
Bananas. Yeah. Bananas.
He's hitting it, and this thing is pured. If you're a golfer, when you've got that approach shot, and you sky that thing a mile in the air, and you know it's got all the backspin in the world on it, and you carry it past the pin, it lands, and it just goes zzz, right back at the pin, you go, That's the look that Cam Little had on his face when he hit this ball. He looks over at his coach and shoots him the and it's like, how does that happen?
It's like the Happy Gilmore. Somebody's closer.
Happy learned how to putt. It's like a dude named Little kicking the ball that far.
Yeah. Cam Little got big foot.
Goodness. It's the contrast in kicking right now. Whether it's Younghoe Koo or the Miami kicker stubbing their toe and not getting a kick off.
Yeah.
To this in the span of 24 hours.
And, going back to the Younghoe Koo too, or Younghoe Koo, sorry. It's amazing how it's like he's gone full Chuck Knobloch on us because that guy, he used to be automatic.
Oh, yeah, for the Falcons, he was unreal.
And now it's like he's just another run-of-the-mill kicker that is trying to hang on.
It's kicking camps have kind of exploded over the last 5 to 10 years. Mm-hmm. There's still only, I think, 2 that are like the big ones. It hasn't gone like full 7-on-7, Elite 11, explosion, which, look, man, if you've got a kid who's got a leg, for the love of God, get them into these camps.
Yeah. Like I remember even in high school, my brother was a soccer player, and I think one year, his senior year, he decided to go try out for the kicker on the football team. He wound up not doing it because he decided he didn't want to. But yeah, and my class too. We had our kicker. He was like automatic, and he set the I forget which year in high school I was, but set the Oregon State high school record for field goal distance. It was 44 yards, but at that point, it was the record.
44 yards in high school, was it 57 years ago?
Gotta hit you.
You're 94?
Yes.
Hey, so you're only 8 years.
Graduated in 94.
Yeah.
I am not 94 years old.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
94 years old.
Anyway, shout out Moxum Herman.
You played with Tungsten Armodoyle.
Yeah, exactly. I called his games.
Tungsten Armodoyle winds up for the pitch. God, I love an old-timey 1920s gangster voice. It is awesome.
Well, that's one of the things that I love about Doc Parker. Is
he has one of those voices.
He sounds like 1950s AM radio.
He does, and it's so good.
It's fantastic.
And
the guy knows everything
about.
He is an encyclopedia.
Yeah. I have done one baseball broadcast in my entire life at NBC Sports Northwest. Ron Wilson got stuck somewhere, and they looked at me because I was there doing a Blazers game already, and they said, "Hey, dude, the Beavers are in a national championship game." It was the game where they dropped the ball in the outfield.
Ooh,
Arkansas.
Ouch.
Well, Arkansas did. I don't want to say
Well, still.
And Oregon State goes on to win a national title.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there watching this game because, it's Oregon State in the national title game and, talking bees, baby. And they're like, "Hey, you want to do this?" And so they gave me a Beavers polo, and I hopped on with the radio play-by-play voice of the Portland Trailblazers, Travis Demers.
Right on.
And I got to have Parker on air. Following a national championship, and I just got to sit there and giggle.
Yeah, right?
While he gets to just wax poetically about the Beavers winning a national title game.
You had your own little Chris Farley show there.
Oh, yeah. Remember the time? Remember the time? And it was so funny because it's the only one I've ever done. And it was like, I'm like, I'm one and done, baby. National title game. Put it up on the board. Call it good.
Yes, exactly. Not tapping that experience.
No. But again, the state of kickers right now in the NFL and in college, it's
Never better.
it's also, I don't think I've ever seen a wider swath.
Yeah.
The guys who are truly great are just bonkers.
Yes.
Bonkers, right? It's just, I was down at USC Oregon, and coming into the game, USC's kicker was a Lou Groza Award finalist. He had missed one field goal, and it was a 59-yarder, and then he shanked that thing from 26 yards.
Eesh.
And you're like, Atticus Abington missed his 32 or 33-yarder, and they get the penalty, and that ends up not counting. Meanwhile, we talked about it. Atticus has been an absolute monster for Oregon.
Yeah.
One of the most reliable kickers in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it is so weird.
And that's nice for Oregon to have because that hasn't been traditionally in their bag of tricks.
They haven't gone the full-on, we're going to have an open competition on campus.
Right.
But they've had some scarier moments with kickers over the last 20 years.
Yes.
But when you watch a guy like Cam Little, if you just search it, you will see this guy hit a 72-yard field goal that was probably good from 81.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. And again, in altitude, because just to repeat, we don't know if you're aware.
Yeah.
Denver is the mile-high city.
I'm telling you right now, that kick was good from 70 plus,
Yeah.
even not at
Yeah, he cleared it. Yeah, probably by 10 yards.
Just holy crap.
Yeah.
So
Bananas.
speaking of holy crap, Chicago Bears and Green Bay Packers, it wasn't an electric game until it was. NFC North supremacy on the line between the Packers and Bears, and Caleb Williams, under pressure, gets it done. We'll get to that next. But first, here's the Big Kahuna with the Sports Center update.
I hear they got some tasty burgers.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Langdon Farms Golf Club. Good or bad weather, the golf course is always the driest around. Download the Langdon Farms app today to get all the latest news and specials. First on the Fan, Week 16 in the NFL wraps up tonight with the Colts hosting the 49ers for Monday Night Football. A Colts loss would clinch playoff spots for the Bills, Chargers, and Jaguars in the NFC. The 49ers, meanwhile, they've already clinched a spot in the NFC side of things. 5:15 kick on ABC and ESPN. The Niners are 5.5-point favorites. ChiefsDigest.com reporting quarterback Gardner Minshew feared to have suffered a torn ACL.
God dang.
Just a week after starter Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL, third stringer Chris Oladokun, a 2022 seventh-round pick out of South Dakota State, took over in the 26-9 loss to the Titans. In the association, Blazers riding a 3-game heater. They host the Pistons tonight as they are set to honor the 1999-2000 team at Moda Center. It's a 7 o'clock tip on KUNP 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday still out with a calf strain. Jeremy Grant questionable with Achilles soreness. The Blazers are 6.5-point underdogs. Over in college football, multiple reports say Bobby Petrino agreeing to become the next offensive coordinator under Bill Belichick at USC. And Notre Dame and BYU announcing a home-and-home series in 2026 and 2027. That means next season, Notre Dame and USC will not face each other for only the second time in the last 80 years. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris and Meringue. Weekdays 10 to 1. The Fan Sports Network. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. And I'll tell you right now, Chicago Bears and their fans were wondering if they could count on Caleb Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, you can count on Caleb Williams to make one of the most obscene throws you have ever seen to win a game. Absolutely inch perfect dot to DJ Moore in overtime. PFF came out and said it is one of the highest graded throws they have had in their metric. Is they only have 3 throws, and I think it said with a +2 rating. This was one of them. That throw was unfreaking believable. How did they get there, though? Well, Jordan Love went full Aaron Rodgers, had his head mashed off the turf with his chin strap over his face, and you got the record scratch of, you're wondering how I got here. Yeah, right. He got his brain pan scrambled. Christian Watson out, Josh Jacobs limited. Malik Willis comes in and honestly was pretty damn good considering. 9 of 11, $121 and a touchdown. Ran the ball another 10 times for 44 yards. I mean, you're getting, 150-plus yards in a relief effort while you're missing your weapons. But the problem was they couldn't hold on to the bleeping ball. 3 fumbles, they lose 1. But Caleb Williams in the fourth quarter lofts a ball into the corner of the end zone that was just, I don't know how you can make that throw at that point in the game and put that much air on it and trust your receiver to get there. Ja'Day Walker catches it in the corner of the end zone, and nobody's there because the coverage just fell apart, but goodness gracious. Caleb Williams ends the game 19 of 34, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 absolutely incredible throws. The Bears are able to do what the Bears do, breaking up their running game, 26 carries for $150, almost 6 yards per carry. Meanwhile, the Packers, despite not having their weapons, 44 carries, $192, 4.4 yards per carry, but nobody could score. It was a 6-0 Green Bay lead at halftime, and it was ugly. And the weather in Chicago wasn't great, but it wasn't what we had last week. When Harris and I flew to Baltimore, there's still a fair amount of snow on the ground. You saw how absolutely brutally cold it was in the stands. The wind chill, I think, was like -8, -10, something along those lines. And we talked about this Chicago Bears team and what was going to be on their plate over the final 5 weeks of the season. They have now, they're in the home stretch of it. They had the Eagles, Packers, it was after the Packers game where they lost 28-21 in Green Bay. Sorry, it was after they beat the Eagles 24-15. We're like, they're going to have to play the Packers twice. How is this going to go? Because their final stretch of the season was at Green Bay versus the Browns, at home against the Packers, then closing on the road in San Francisco, and at home against the Lions. In that stretch so far, they are 2-1. They lost by a score in Green Bay, 28-21. They throttled the Browns 31-3, and they beat the Packers 22-16 with that overtime throw. The Bears are good.
Yeah. I will say they're not quite out of the woods yet because their last 2 games, I got to look.
Niners and Lions.
Yes, Niners and Lions. And one of those is at the Niners and then hosting the Lions. So I need to, take a look at the old playoff scenarios and such and tiebreakers. But
they have an 89% chance.
That's a rough last 2 games.
Yes, it is. They have an 89% chance to win the division. They have secured a playoff spot. They have an 11% chance to earn the number 1 seed. The Seahawks right now in the driver's seat there with a 47.6%, 20% remaining for both the 49ers and Rams. The 3 NFC West teams are right there. So it's one of those situations where if it certainly goes their way, the Bears could end up as number 1 seed. But right now, it looks like they are very much in the driver's seat for the number 2 seed in the NFC. Who the hell saw that coming?
Yeah, well, and here's the thing, though, too. Like I said, you got the Niners and
Lions.
There we go. Thank you. So they would need to lose out, and the Packers would need to win out. But here's who the Packers have the final 2 weeks. They are hosting the Ravens and then at the Vikings. So, look,
and the Ravens have to win.
There's a chance that they could win out and the Bears could lose out. And then guess what happens? That's the old flippity flop. And then all of a sudden you got the Packers on top of the division.
Which, again, this is why it mattered that they win this game.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you split the season series with the Packers. You go 1-1. Each team wins at home. But for me, Harris and we've been talking about Caleb Williams all season in the sense of he's just like, I don't want to put words in his mouth. He said some version of maybe it's just some kind of bias I have against Caleb. I don't know what it is. I just don't like him.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand all the stuff around Caleb. Like he's just
Right.
he's a different cat.
Well, it's like I just kind of don't buy Jordan Love at this point. I'm not ready to get on the Love train.
Yeah. No, I'm probably more there with you. Love can be very good. He's never really bad. It's just sometimes he just disappears.
Right.
But this Bears team, as of right now, have the 5th best offense in yards per game at 371.1, just ahead of the Patriots, just behind the Bills, to kind of put in perspective where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Passing wise, they are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14th. So they are in the upper half of the league. They're right there. They are sandwiched in between. Here's a fun one for you. The Bears are sandwiched in between the Chargers and the Jags. That's Justin Herbert
Mm-hmm.
and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So if I told you that
They're
Caleb
having pretty good
Williams,
years.
if I told you that Caleb Williams' passing yards per game was sandwiched in between Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, what would you say?
He's having himself a nice little season.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then again, rushing wise, the Bears are the 2nd best rushing team in the league.
Can he become Chicago's first 4,000-yard passer?
It's going to be close. I was pulling this up earlier and I closed the tab. He is, hold on, stats. They've got 2 games left.
So it's never had a 4,000-yard passer and never had a 30-touchdown passer, right?
He's not going to do it. He's at 3,400 on the dot. Okay, again,
I wouldn't say he's not gonna. It's unlikely.
Yeah.
It's unlikely.
Okay, perspective-wise,
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams is sandwiched in between these 2 quarterbacks in yards so far through 15 games. He has 6 less passing yards than Josh Allen.
Okay.
He has 19 more passing yards than Jordan Love.
Well, look, one of those two is not like the other, but
Caleb is 11th in passing yardage in the NFL.
great. There we go. Perfect. Right there in that sweet spot in the middle of the league.
He has 2 less touchdowns than Josh Allen passing,
Mm-hmm.
4 less interceptions. He has the same touchdown and interceptions as Jordan Love.
Yeah.
I'd say the Ben Johnson experiment's going pretty damn well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And let them grow a little bit more together and see what happens. Where is he at touchdowns wise? Just
23.
Okay, so
23 touchdowns, 6
So
picks.
he's not hitting 30 either.
Very unlikely.
So the streak continues for
The
those
streak
Chicago
continues.
Bears.
And again, Caleb's still leaving a lot on the bone.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm with Harris in the sense of I understand why there's a hesitancy.
Yeah.
Because he's consistently inconsistent.
Yeah, he needs to put it all together.
But that winning touchdown throw, that's why I'm in on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's maybe 3 other guys in the league that can make that throw. Off platform, rolling out, planting his foot, and throwing an inch perfect dime over the shoulder to DJ Moore
Mm-hmm.
to take control of the NFC North. Hell of a game. All right, coming up next, we're getting to Web Gems, and this is a sports-adjacent story. I just want to talk about it because it was really fun to watch a really irritating guy get punched in the face. We'll get that next here on the Firm of Harris and Meringue, 105.1 The Fan.
The it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
Oh, son of a...
It's Web Gems.
What'd you do?
The Firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, today's Web Jam is from the world of boxing. Well, at least boxing adjacent, as Anthony Joshua, actual boxer.
I think there was one boxer in the ring.
Yeah. Beat the ever-living crap out of Jake Paul, and mwah! Let's hear it.
Not that much is going to happen. And it almost, oh, there's a left hook.
Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh, you just hate to see it. So Jake Paul took on a real fighter who's actually got real juice left in Anthony Joshua. And this thing went 6 rounds because Jake Paul ran for his life for 4 rounds. Wrapped him up, seemingly tried to shoot a double leg takedown multiple times during the fight, to the point where the refs stopped them and broke them up and said, fans didn't pay to watch this crap. Anthony Joshua said he was going to hurt him, and it appears he broke Jake Paul's jaw.
Yeah, I think in 2 spots, it sounds like.
That thud you heard was a 2-piece combo, a left-right, with the right cross lands right on the back of his jaw, and it snapped him.
So how much of this going 6 rounds do you think is like a legit boxing match, or...
I think there's maybe some
I don't want to say
contractual allowances for those first 4 rounds.
I don't want to say that maybe Netflix went to Joshua's camp and said it, but maybe Jake Paul's camp, maybe it was both, kind of said, hey, let's can we put on a little bit of a show at least?
First 4 rounds, Jake Paul ran for his life. 5th round, Anthony Joshua started landing some shots. He wobbled him, dropped him to the mat 2 different times. There's a 3rd time when he fell to a knee to kind of buy some time, and the ref said, nah, dog, I need you up.
Yeah.
Need you up. And then he finished him with a little
I'm
combo.
not losing a fighter in the ring on my watch.
Nope. Need you to stand up. You're not going to sit there and be on a knee right now taking a break. Joshua landed a little combo at the end of the round that staggered him again. And before he landed that, he landed another combo that rocked him and almost dropped him. He backed him into that corner, and that right cross, whoo, you can hear it. Can you play the first 10 seconds of that again? Because you can hear the whap whap of his face.
Not that much is going to happen. And it almost, oh, there's a left hook. And down goes Paul.
That sound, that isn't Anthony Joshua doing the pss, pss. Yeah. That's the sound of his glove with that left hook and right cross. Whap, whap. And that's just pure spit flying. And again, it does sound like Jake Paul's jaw is broken. And if you have not seen it, just go on Twitter or IG, wherever you go. You can find it everywhere because it is a nasty, nasty 1-2. And you see the head snap, and you can tell Jake Paul goes down, and he's on his knee. He ain't getting up.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, you really hate to see it.
Really hate to see it.
Look, the whole I do want to give Jake Paul some credit for stepping into the ring with Anthony Joshua.
No, see, no.
Why?
Because he has it so built into his head that he thinks he belongs there. So no, I'm not giving him credit for being that stupid.
Well, here's
he
the thing.
thought that he could legitimately go in there and hold his own
with him.
And so if you're that big of a dumbass, no, I don't give you any credit. But it's still fun to watch your ass get knocked out.
That part is very much true. I will give him credit because stepping into the ring, whether it's the ring or the octagon, Suk told old Will Ortner multiple times, you can come on down to the gym and roll with me whenever you want, whenever you're ready, big boy. I saw a video on socials last week of this guy that was like a 15-0 street fighter get in an octagon with a 15-year MMA fighter, same weight. They're both like $145, the skinny guys. And what that MMA fighter wore 14-ounce gloves, and he let the guy wear the 2.5-ounce UFC gloves. Mm-hmm. Even with that, what he did to him was vicious.
Yeah.
It is a different level of, this is where I'm giving Jake Paul credit. It's one thing for two dudes to go settle their scrap, go settle their beef in a boxing gym. It is another to go with a trained fighter. Is it another just galaxy to step into the ring with a professional fighter? And that's how you get your jaw broken.
Yeah.
This guy wakes up wanting to kill you for months. He is training to knock your head off. This is not some guy who doesn't know how to transition every ounce of his power into a 3x3 square inch pad. And that's exactly what happened. And so I will give him credit because it takes some balls. It takes some huevos, some cojones, some marbles to step in the ring with that and know that can happen.
Yeah. Now, I didn't quite see who Andrew Tate stepped in the ring with.
Yeah, he got folded up like a pretzel.
Yes, but he also, in another case of, you hate to see it.
Yeah.
Look,
play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
I didn't see it. The only thing I saw from that was two things. Two single still frames. One of him face down on the canvas, and the other one was him once he was finally up and how mangled his face was.
His face was a punching bag.
Yeah.
I watched the Tyson Paul fight.
I did begrudgingly.
Because I was like, what if Mike Tyson at 60 years old does have one punch left in him?
That's what I wanted to see.
Right?
So bad.
And that's and Anthony Joshua had a lot of them.
That's what Netflix was counting on too.
Anthony Joshua had a lot of them punches left. And he called out Tyson Fury at the end of that fight, which I'm telling you right now, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua are going to get in the ring together. Sign me up.
Right?
Sign me up. Let the gypsy fight again. I'm all here for it. Tyson Fury, he's on a card. Roll him out there, baby.
No, is that his real name? Like, is that his given government name,
I believe
Tyson
so.
Fury?
Yeah.
Because if so, like, you are destined for.
Deontay Wilder.
I'm just saying, yeah, but you're destined for a certain profession if that is your given name.
Deontay Wilder is another great name for a boxer.
Yeah, Tyson Luke Fury.
God, you'd love to see it.
Born in Wythenshawe, UK. Wythenshawe.
Yeah, he actually comes from a gypsy family.
Mm-hmm.
So they were I believe his generation wasn't travelers, but
his children are named Venezuela Fury, Valencia Amber, Prince Adonis Amaziah, and Prince John James Fury.
Who gets to actually be called Prince Fury? They have to fight to figure it out?
Well, I think it sounds like the first prince, the Prince Adonis Amaziah, sounds like the Amaziah is the last name. So I'm guessing he has 2 children with a certain person, and then the other 2 are from separate ones, each on their own even.
I think I'm carrying the Fury last name.
And his siblings, you got Tommy Fury, Shane Fury, and John Fury Jr.
I'd be kind of disappointed if I was the Fury Jr.
I don't know, man. I'd go by John Fury Jr.
Well, your Fury is lesser than.
Yeah, but is it? Want to try that out?
I'm good.
You want to try that out?
Look, man,
You want to go tell John Fury Jr. that you are lesser than?
You are a lesser Fury. Just saying.
All right, keyboard warrior.
Now look. I've gotten on rings before. I've been hit. I know what it's like. It's not fun.
No,
it's not fun. Overseas we had a boxing ring, man. And I got in a ring with a former Golden Gloves champion out of the Bronx. Whoo, buddy, there are levels to hand speed.
Yeah. Oh, that being said, I am never stepping foot in a boxing ring.
It's fun.
Ever.
Look, I'm a big proponent, shockingly, of combat sports, wrestling, MMA, boxing, in the sense of, like, it sorts you out. I've said for a long time, getting hit in the face will change your worldview and how you act and how you treat people.
That's the Mike Tyson phrase, right?
Mm-hmm. Everybody's got a plan until they get hit.
Yep.
It's very true, and it's true of life. But it's also, I think particularly for men, I think it is a good thing to have those sports because there's nobody else you can rely on.
Mm-hmm.
You have to figure it out, or if you don't, you learn how to battle a defeat.
Right.
That's life, man. I'm not sitting here just like, oh, macho. Like, that's life. Sometimes you get hit, man. Physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it comes with. Mm-hmm. How you battle back afterwards or how you fold. Those anybody who ever gets in a one-on-one combat sport, even a Jake Paul, I will give you a level of respect because most people don't do that. And it does something to you. It sorts you out in the pecking order of how you look at yourself, how you treat yourself. and what kind of respect and dignity that you're willing to put forward, not only for yourself, but for an opponent. So that's kind of where I fall in all this stuff. All right. Oh, boy, this show's actually kind of flying by for a solo. I kind of like this. All right, it is a Monday. We are hairless, not hairless, although, yeah, no,
I definitely am not.
I'm the only hairless one here. Who am I kidding?
I definitely am not.
But coming up next, we will keep it in the NFL because Duval showed up, and we'll let Jeff Rust wax poetically about one Trevor Lawrence, who through the last 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, backdoor MVP campaign. We'll get to that next here on the Firm of Harrison Meringue, 105.1 The Fan.
I'm
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on The Fan, Week 16 in the NFL wrapping up this evening with the Colts hosting the 49ers on Monday Night Football. A Colts loss would clinch playoff spots in the AFC for the Bills, Chargers, and Jaguars. Meanwhile, the 49ers in the NFC, they've already clinched a spot. 5:15 kick on ABC and ESPN. The 49ers are 5.5-point favorites. ChiefsDigest.com reporting quarterback Gardner Minshew feared to have suffered a torn ACL. This just a week after starter Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL. Third stringer Chris Oladokun, a 2022 seventh-round pick out of South Dakota State, originally taken by the Steelers. He took over in the 26-9 loss to the Titans. In the association, the Blazers riding a 3-game heater. Hosting the Pistons tonight, they're set to honor the 1999-2000 team at Moda Center. 7 o'clock tip on KUNP 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday still out with a calf strain. Jeremy Grant questionable with Achilles soreness. The Blazers are 6.5-point dogs. Over in college football, Notre Dame, BYU announcing a home-and-home series in 2026 and 2027, meaning next season. Notre Dame and USC will not play for only the second time in the last 80 years, and multiple reports say Bobby Petrino has agreed to become the next offensive coordinator under Bill Belichick at North Carolina. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitch. And now Window Nation brings you on-demand videos. Watch Window Nation's Window into the Fan.
Final hour here on the firm of Harris and Meringue. I have managed to not say Danny and Dusty once today, although I've gotten very close about 11 billion times. No Harris today. Hey, there. Golf clap, ladies and gentlemen. I managed to not do it so far. Harris out today and tomorrow. We are all off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're not coming into everything's in automation, right?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
Yeah.
Yep, nobody's here.
Nobody's here.
Nobody's
so,
here.
I was talking to old Sam Tong. I'm like, hey, is anybody here from sales? And he kind of gave me the magic 8-ball. Seems unclear right now. Don't think anybody's going to be here on Wednesday.
Why would they be?
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
Come on, sales. Come on now.
I mean, even the Carrot is trying to make the great decision of giving us national holidays on the 24th and 26th.
Love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see it. I will not be here next Monday and Tuesday, and hopefully I'll be back on Wednesday, barring any complications from said surgery talked about earlier in the show. But with that, here in hour number 3, we're going to keep it in the NFL. We'll pivot back to college football. We'll get to Alabama, Oklahoma, which was probably the best game of the weekend. Featured a monster comeback by the Crimson Tide. But speaking of monster games, don't look now. The Jacksonville Jaguars are 11-4 and go to Mile High, as we talked about Cam Little and his little big leg.
Duval.
Love to see that. But with that being said, they upset, I would say, the Denver Broncos and put up 34 on that lauded Broncos defense.
Yeah.
Behind Trevor Lawrence's 23 of 36, 279, 3-touchdown performance, capped it off with 6 carries for 20 yards and another touchdown. That is 4 touchdowns, ladies and gentlemen, complete. That means in the last 2 weeks, he has had 10 total touchdowns.
Good old Easter Island face.
Holy crap.
He's doing all right.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence over his last 4 games. Number 1, Trevor Lawrence does not have an interception in his last 4 games.
Yay.
Now, he has beaten the Titans, the Colts, and Jets, and Broncos. In those games, he has thrown for 229, 244, 330, 279, and he has 2, 4, 9, 12 passing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. And a pair of rushing touchdowns.
A pair of rushing touchdowns and no interceptions.
Is that good?
And he's been sacked 8 times in 4 games. 5 of those courtesy of the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy thing. Sacked 5 times by the Denver Broncos, still puts up 34, still goes for 279, still throws 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. I think, we're reaching a point now where we can kind of, between Trevor Lawrence's at least recent success here, and how Baker Mayfield in Tampa has had a little bit of a slide back. So Liam Cohen might be one hell of an offensive mind and a quarterback guru.
Turns out, I mean, Baker Mayfield has said just nothing but wonderful things about Liam Cohen. That was kind of one of those under the radar, like, how's Baker going to do without Liam? Well, he's had an offensive coordinator, seemingly a new one every single year of his career. He's going to go on to another one, it looks like, heading into next season. The Jaguars right now have a 99.8% chance to make the playoffs. Their chance to win the division, I words for a living, I swear, 77.3%, and they have a just under 14% chance of earning the number 1 overall seed. The Broncos and Patriots are basically splitting that at 36 and 40% respectively. So the Jags are really the only other team that could be a threat here.
Yeah, they're only a game back at the Patriots and Broncos.
How you feeling about old Duval?
I feel good.
Look, we have wondered about this team. Now, coming up, they finished the season with the Colts and Titans.
I mean,
they should win both those games.
You got Laserface and Cam Ward. I mean, yes, and they should win both of those games.
The Jacksonville Jaguars could end the season as division champions in 13-4. And the thing about this team is, there really isn't a weakness, but is there a true strength? They feel like the Colts.
They like to force turnovers. I think that's their biggest strength, is taking the ball away.
That's fair. That's also one of those things that comes and goes in between seasons.
Yes, yeah.
But capitalize on it when you can get
sometimes the ball falls a different way.
Mm-hmm. They feel very Coltsian before old Daniel Jones got hurt, where their identity was probably more defensive, but offensively, you have Jonathan Taylor, you have Michael Pittman, you have Tyler Warren. Like, you've got weapons on that team. And Daniel Jones just needed to make sure he managed that accordingly and didn't let the game get out of hand and let his defense play. Well, this Jags defense is now kind of leaning on this offense a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of look at their performances. Jeff, here's what they have done over the last 6 games. 35-6 against the Chargers, 27-24 against the Cardinals, 25-3 against the Titans, 36-19 against the Colts, 48-20 against the Jets, and 34-20 against the Broncos.
Sure sounds to me like they're scoring some points.
It also sounds like now they've played some really crappy teams. They have not allowed more than 20 but once to the Cardinals.
There we go. You got to go out and beat the bad teams, right? That's what good teams do.
Their one loss in that stretch to the Texans on the road, 36-29, where they put up 29 points. We have highlighted this. I have beaten this horse to death. 2 teams all season have scored more than 20 against the Houston Texans. The Jags are one of those teams.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to go with like the whole, like, here, if you do this thing, like, the Texans are the best defense in football. If you want to say the Broncos are the second best, fine. So the Jags have hung 29-34 against the 2 best defenses in football. That seems pretty damn good.
Yeah, right.
What more do we need to see from this team to actually believe in them?
Well, see, the problem is that we don't know who in the AFC to believe in because of what has happened this season. Patrick Mahomes is out. The Chiefs are eliminated. The Bills haven't quite been the Bills that they have been in the past. I mean, Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. The Baltimore Ravens, they are not a great year.
They have a 7.5% chance of making the playoffs. They have to win the division to make the playoffs.
So, and your Pittsburgh Steelers, I mean, yes, they're going to be there, but they're not. The AFC is as wide open, I think, as it's ever been.
To that point, as it stands right now, this is your seeding in the AFC. Broncos, Patriots, Jags, Steelers, Bills, Chargers, Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Outside
Actually, the Chargers have the tiebreaker over the Bills due to best win percentage in conference games.
I'm looking at the AFC playoff picture right now for the
as am I.
Okay, this is the make the playoff picture. The Bills have a 0.1% chance. A 1.1% chance better of making the playoffs over the Chargers.
So what I've got here is the seedings with the tiebreaker scenarios in the right-handed most column.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so yes, the Chargers own the tiebreaker over Buffalo based on best win percentage in conference games.
So your best playoff quarterback is Josh Allen. Your most accomplished playoff quarterback is Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, your most tested playoff quarterback is C.J. Stroud and Trevor Lawrence.
It's
Remember, Bo went out last year,
Yeah.
looked bad.
not to quote the Dixie Chicks, but wide open spaces.
Drake May hasn't been there.
Oh, and also apropos of something. The Broncos hold the tiebreaker over the Patriots, also based on best win percentage in common games.
Chargers, Justin Herbert got there and looked like, let me quote Anthony Q. Newman here, doo-doo.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a 4 interception game against those Jags?
Could be.
It was a 3 or 4 interception game. Now, Herbert was hurt, dinged up for sure. But
again, that Jags D, and they are one of the best in the entire
Forcing
league
turnovers.
at taking the ball away.
So there's a reason why the bell I've been ringing, the horse that I've been beating, is if I am an AFC team, the team that I am most terrified of in the playoffs is the Texans. The correlation between top defensive unit and playoff success is a straight line.
By the way, Herbert 1 interception against the Jaguars.
What game am I thinking of that he had 3 or 4? Was that the week before going into the playoffs?
Let's take a look. See here.
It doesn't matter.
Justin Herbert's game log.
He had a game right around that point where he was, I think it was, what do you have, like a broken rib?
He's got 2 games on this season with 2 interceptions.
Okay. He had one game where he was banged up, but he just let a couple ducks go.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a little too on the nose. Ducks go. Anyways, point being, Jags, for real. Is that what we're landing on?
No, exactly. And you know what? It's these kinds of seasons where you don't know who the hell is going to come out on top that makes it so exciting. On tap, yeah.
Jeff, we got 45 more minutes.
Yeah, well, sorry. Well, we do, and then I got 2 more hours.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm going to get thirsty.
Sorry. All right, coming up next, we're going to pivot back to college football. Alabama is one of those upsets. They come from down 17 to knock off the Oklahoma Sooners in Norman. Do we believe in Alabama? We'll get to that next here, coming up on the Firm of Harrison Meringue 105.1, The Fan. Roll Tide, Paul. Sure, Oklahoma fans are just thrilled with that outcome. The Fightin' Fine Bombs come through. Alabama knocks off Oklahoma in Norman 34-24, fighting back from a 17-0 deficit off a series of just furball-esque miscues from the Sooners. Now, credit where credit's due. Alabama capitalized. After falling behind 17-0, where Oklahoma appeared to have it rolling, John Mateer looked like he was going to be dealing. Finished the game 26-41, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. But a devastating pick six, 50 yards the other way for Alabama to kind of right some wrongs. Tie that thing up at halftime at 17 apiece, 17 points in the second quarter from Alabama. Makes this thing a ball game, and then Alabama... Every time Oklahoma had a gaffe, there they were. There was Ty Simpson, 18-29, 232, 2 touchdowns. And despite Alabama not being able to run the ball at all, 25 carries for 28 yards, big chunk of that because they had negative 26 rushing yards between Ty Simpson and the team, they were able to punch one in from Daniel Hill and convert some third downs that gave them the opportunity to keep things alive, including the 30-yarder from Hill. Outside of that, they couldn't get a damn thing going on the ground. But Oklahoma had turned their opponents over, I will say 8 or 9 times over the last 3 games. 0 against Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And what was in the first match between these teams, one of the ugliest college football games I've ever seen before watching A&M Miami. This is a good game, Rusty.
Yeah.
Friday night gave us some juice.
Well, look, you had that first half. It was clearly one team far better than the other.
Mm-hmm. And yet,
then, not to use that cliched old adage,
ends up tied at the half.
Tale of two halves, basically. But you know what I mean.
It was a tale of a quarter and a half.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, and then all of a sudden, they just completely, the script flipped.
Well, and the big part of that script flipping was a guy that was not a factor for Alabama this year, and Lutzier Brooks coming out and making dumb catch after dumb catch after dumb catch. Both him and Bernard both had a couple of just, let me go full Gus Johnson, woo! type catches. Brooks with 2 touchdowns, and Alabama's making plays.
Yeah.
Look, we all know what Alabama is and isn't this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're very good. They're now 11-3 on the season. They got steamrolled in the SEC title game by Georgia. But that offense, despite not having a running game, pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And defensively in that second half, 1 Oklahoma touchdown.
Well, and that's what happens too when you've got the a quarterback at level that you've got there in Ty Simpson at Alabama. You know,
I feel bad for Mateer. Outside interception, played a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
Super unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, also tuck that ball and take it and run for 30 yards rather than throw it downfield to your running back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, look, hindsight is always 20/20, but he's known for his running as well.
He's also known
You had
for
all day
the gunslinger.
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. Known for the gunslinger risk-taking mentality.
Yeah.
And, Ty Simpson is not.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about what Julian Sayin did at Ohio State this year and how good he was. I mean, what the ask of him was significantly less.
Well, and you get those gunslingers, and it's like the facts of life. You take the good, you take the bad. You take them
Facts
both.
of life.
Yes.
Facts.
Facts of life.
Emphasis on the CT.
Yes. Because, think of it this way, like with Brett Favre, gunslinger mentality. Who is the all-time leader in interceptions in the NFL? Brett Favre.
Ta-da!
Yeah. I think he had himself an okay career.
It worked. I mean, look,
He's a dumbass afterwards.
sure, but you win some, you lose some.
Probably during, but
Probably during as well. Jen Sturger existed while during
yes,
the career.
that is true.
But again, now Alabama. It's funny listening to national shows, listening to some podcasts, watching the 4-letter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I don't hear coming out of this game? A single word about Kalen DeBoer.
Right?
Not one.
Yeah.
Not a peep.
Yeah. It's not the old should I stay or should I go now again.
Look, here's the thing about that entire situation. If there still is, and if there ever was internal talk about legitimately wanting to replace Kalen DeBoer,
Mm-hmm.
DeBoer should leave.
Oh, yeah.
He should leave.
Right. So, I mean, I guess it just depends on whose decision it is going to be, who will be the impetus of a potential move, whether it's him wanting to perhaps go and check out how things are in Ann Arbor, or if Alabama's like, maybe this isn't the guy. And look, we still don't quite know exactly what they've got down there in Tuscaloosa, because they have their flashes and then they got moments where it's like, what are we doing here? So yeah, it's they're still, and we said this ever since he got hired 2 postseasons ago, 2 off seasons ago. You don't ever want to be the guy that replaces the guy.
Especially the guy being the greatest college football coach of all time.
Of all time.
But
So
with all of that being said, Alabama goes on the road into a difficult place to play in Oklahoma at Norman and handles business. You go down 17, you win by 10.
Yeah.
Hey, look, a double-digit win in a college football playoff between the 8 and 9 team.
Yeah.
Where one team's playing at home.
You start out getting outscored 17-0, and then what happens? You come back and you go 34-7. I mean, that's a pretty good statement, I would believe.
So if you're Alabama now, you've got to be at least feeling pretty good. If you get a win in the college football playoff on the road against another SEC team that was in the college football playoff, I don't know what more you're asking for in year 2 of Kalen DeBoer. They have the number 2 recruiting class in the country.
Well, you know what they're asking for is they're asking for him to be Nick Saban, which is just kind of ridiculous.
Which nobody can be. Nick Saban can't be Nick Saban in this era.
Right? No, he can't. That's why he left. That's why he hung him up.
So
that's why he's going and hanging out with Pat McAfee and on game day.
Of the 4 semifinal games, Miami, Ohio State, Ole Miss, Georgia, Alabama, Indiana, Oregon, Texas Tech. Alabama, Indiana is the game I have the least amount of interest in, and I love Indiana probably more than anybody outside of the state of Indiana. Is that a game that you're really excited for?
What, Bama and Indy?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm okay. Maybe I am intrigued. I am very intrigued by this because Indiana's had a fantastic season. They had a fantastic season last year, and again with like I said, we still don't quite know what Bama is with DeBoer. We're learning some things, but yes, this is, I think, in terms of those, Matt, this might be the one that I'm most intrigued by.
Maybe it's just because I believe Indiana is the best team in the country. Now, the injury to Daly is certainly something that's very, 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 very much at the forefront of like, ugh. But of the lines in these games, Bama, Indiana, 6.5, Ole Miss, Georgia, 6.5, Miami, Ohio State, 9.5, and then Oregon, Texas Tech is basically a pick 'em. I feel like Indiana, Alabama should have the largest spread. And yet they have the 6.5. Like if I was going to flop a line, I would flop Miami, Ohio State, and Alabama, Indiana. Like I would give Miami, Indiana the 9.5 points.
Okay.
That's where I would go. Maybe that's where I'm at. Ole Miss, Georgia, we saw this once before, and it was an incredible game. The lack of Lane Kiffin is certainly there for me.
Yeah.
But we also saw Ole Miss hang points all over Tulane. Like they didn't miss a beat. And they scored 38 against Georgia in the first meetup. I give Ole Miss as good a chance as anybody in that game.
Yeah, I think you still just got that cloud hanging over them of
the Lane Kiffin shaped cloud.
Yes, it's yes, exactly, the Lane Kiffin shaped cloud. Can this still be the same team, the exact same team that it was all season under him? Can they be that same team without him? And look, I mean, 41-10, it looks like you kind of passed that first smell test. But
it's probably a good thing that they didn't have a bye.
Right? Well, yeah, good thing they didn't have a bye and a good thing that they got Tulane, instead of, say, Alabama or Oklahoma or Miami or Texas, A&M. You know what I mean?
Get a little something under your belt, much like Oregon.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, I feel like, though, we know more about Oregon and what they are going into this than a Lane Kiffin-less Ole Miss.
And as we get further in, closer to the Oregon Tech game, we'll dive into it. And hopefully we'll have Tyson on. We'll ask him about how the coordinators in Stein and Lapoy are going to have to kind of distance themselves a little bit as they get ready to take over their programs at Cal and Kentucky, respectively. But coming up next, the Portland Trailblazers are on a winning streak. They take on the Detroit Pistons tonight, and as Jeff Russ has said in his update, yes, I was listening, the 99-2000 team is going to be making an appearance tonight. We'll probably talk about that some more tomorrow. I'll be at the game tonight. But let's dive into what the Blazers have had over the weekend and what they have coming up leading into Christmas. Get to all that and more coming up here on the Firm of Harrison Ring 105.1 The Fan. But first, Big Kahuna with Sports Center Update.
That's that Hawaiian burger joint.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update is brought to you by Laurelhurst Market, Steakhouse, and Butcher Shop, a great spot for any occasion. And don't forget, you save 10% on your Butcher Shop order when you dine in. Get menus and more at laurelhurstmarket.com. First on the Fan, Week 16 in the NFL. Wrapping up this evening, the Colts hosting the 49ers for Monday Night Football. A Colts loss would clinch playoff spots for the Bills, Chargers, and Jaguars. The 49ers, meanwhile, they've already clinched a spot in the NFC. It's a 5:15 kick on ABC and ESPN. The Niners are 4.5-point favorites. ChiefsDigest.com reporting quarterback Gardner Minshew feared to have suffered a torn ACL.
Yeah, dang.
Just a week after starter Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL, third stringer Chris Oladokun, a 2022 seventh-round pick out of South Dakota State, originally drafted by Pittsburgh, he took over in the 26-9 loss to the Titans. The Blazers riding a 3-game win streak. They host the Pistons tonight as they are set to honor the 1999-2000 team at Moda Center. 7 o'clock tip on KUNP. That is 2.2 on your antenna or Xfinity Channel 302. Drew Holiday still out with a calf strain. Jeremy Grant questionable with Achilles soreness. The Blazers are 5.5-point underdogs. Over in college football, multiple reports say Bobby Petrino agreeing to become the next offensive coordinator under Bill Belichick at UNC. And Notre Dame and BYU announcing a home-and-home series in 2026 and 2027. That means next season, Notre Dame, USC, they will not face each other for only the second time in the last 80 years. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and spray. Weekday mornings 6 to 10 a.m. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Shout out Bruce Hornsby, living forever. I don't know if it's infamy or fame or something, but it lives.
I remember that day because it was there was some local athlete and Dusty couldn't remember who.
That was like the first week we were together.
Yes, and Dusty couldn't remember who this athlete was related to. He's like, it's a big name. Then all of a sudden it hit him in the middle of the show, and he
Yes.
goes, Bruce Hornsby!
I think we had just raised the Summer League Championship banner.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, I think you're right.
Oh, wait, wrong one. Oh, God. We probably played taps for the Blazers-Kings game the other night. Goodness gracious. Sports hard, but it's sports a little too hard in this Blazers-Kings game. Blazers win 98-93, now strung together 3 in a row. And this was the area of the schedule where I was like, hey, if you're going to get things right, this is probably a spot to go ahead and do it because the Kings suck. They are not good. They are now the worst team record-wise in the Western Conference. You can make a pretty clear argument that they're the worst team in the Western Conference. Either them or the Pelicans, but the Blazers also dropped a game to the Pelicans for some unbeknownst reason.
Well, that's like the Thunder being like, hey, our one loss was to the Blazers.
Well, they got 1-1 though.
Well, I know, but, in terms of that 23-1 run.
I wouldn't put them in the same level. Not the same level.
Okay.
But Denny Avdia continues to do things. 24-11-7. I've been doing kind of a straw poll with executives and coaches around the league as they come through town. There is a lot of belief that Denny Avdia should and is playing like an all-star. The media is not reflecting that so far.
Mm-hmm.
I've mentioned this before. If he does this, if he does not make the all-star team, he will be the first player in NBA history to go 25-5-5 and not make the all-star team without missing basically half or more of the first half of the season's games.
Now,
the only guys who've done this are guys like Jordan when he came back, Luka when he was injured, Kyrie when he was injured and got traded to the mat. Like those are the only instances where this has happened.
I'm trying to figure out how to put some of this delicately. At least the first half is easy. It's the second half that I need to, tread
soften up
lightly,
a little.
Perhaps, yes. How much of it is due to him being in Portland?
Part of it for sure.
And then how much of it is due to him being a foreign-born player, not like Eastern Bloc?
That's certainly a part of it. Talking to players and coaches off the record, they're in on him. Mm-hmm. It's not this is a fun story. It's like, no, he's a dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a dude. Like that's the most common sentiment that I've gotten is, we know he's going to drive the ball 20 plus times a night.
Yeah.
We know he's a problem.
Now, I forget, too, in terms of the All-Star voting breakdown, how much, I don't mean to catch you off guard here, but in terms of fan voting versus, I don't remember if it's media or players, coaches.
I can't remember the percentage. I think it's 50, 25, 25 for starters.
Okay.
And then the coaches do the reserves, but the reserves is split up in the whole weirdness of USA versus the world, international, all that kind of crap. So I need to go dive into the press release on that and figure out exactly if there's any changes into that because they just change it so frequently. It's one of those things where I'm like, come January is when I'll start taking a look at it. But I say all this to say that Denny Avdia has been an absolute monster this year. Of course, my tab crashed. Stupid thing. Let me go ahead and pull this up and filibuster while I go do this. God, why would you kick me out?
Pay no attention to us stalling for
there we
time.
Go. All right.
Perfect.
Thankfully, I could pull it up in the history. Do you know where Denny Avdia currently ranks in the NBA in scoring? Like in top 25, top 30, top 50. Like, where do you think
He's Curry? What was he averaging right now? 26 something? 27?
He is at, let me pull up all the pop-ups. He is just under 26, 25.8 points per game.
Okay, so just trying to think through this here out loud. You're gonna have a couple of guys on there that are over 30, I'm guessing, in terms of points per game.
There's 4 guys over 30.
See?
Scoring very well. Luka leads the league at 34.1, SGA at 32.5, Maxey at 31.7, and Donovan Mitchell at 30.7.
Okay, so you got 4 at 30 plus. Let's go with we'll go 15th-ish.
Ding, 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 ding.
God, I am on a heater today.
You are. Denny Avdia currently 15th in the NBA in scoring. And so if I go ahead and throw a filter on this real quick, let's go points per game. Greater than or equal to, this is the hard part because it won't refresh my stupid filters, 25 players who average greater than or equal to 5 rebounds and greater than or equal to 5 assists. Now, these aren't the end-all, be-all. They're just nice little boxes and round numbers that we like to put them in. These are the players in the NBA currently averaging 25, 5, and 5. Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Jaylen Brown, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Cade Cunningham, James Harden, Austin Reeves, and Denny Avdia.
Okay. That's pretty good company. I'd say one of those other ones is not like the others, and maybe it's just
I
because
know it's Austin Reeves.
I know.
But
maybe
he has been hooping.
Yeah. But good company. Very good
Avdia's
company.
shooting splits 47, 37, 82. He is averaging 26 points, where does it go? There we go. 7 rebounds and 6.4 assists.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
He is absolutely hooping. Now, also on that same sentiment, Shaedon Sharpe. Shaedon Sharpe has found seemingly his jump shot.
Okay. Sweet.
Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. I had all my tabs up and it's just going to do this stupid thing. Advanced filters, all teams, Portland Trailblazers. And I want to go season segments. I want to go over the last 10 games.
There we go.
Shaedon Sharpe over the last 10 games is scoring 21.1 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He is shooting 49% from the field.
That's good.
47% from 3.
That's better.
72% from the free throw line.
Well, okay, but look, we can't. It's baby steps.
Yeah,
baby steps.
But his volume has come down from the 3-point line. He's under 5, 4.7. I would argue 5 to 6 is probably where he should be.
So he's making wiser choices.
He is getting to the rim.
Yeah.
That is the thing you want to see. The rim should be the default setting for Shaedon Sharpe. Let me pull up his hex map, shot zones right now. Shaedon Sharpe, actually I can just do this because this chart sucks. And the NBA one does a weird thing. That's what I get for all my tabs crashing on me. I got booted out of everything earlier.
What do you got, like 47 tabs open
2,
over there?
4, 6, 8, 9. I have 9
Is that
open.
all?
Yeah. But I mean, they all crashed earlier in the show, and I forgot I didn't open these ones back up.
Gotcha.
All right. Shooting accuracy. Shaedon Sharpe at the rim right now is shooting 67%. That puts him in the 67th percentile among all combo guards in the NBA. He is up to 33% from the 3-point line.
Okay.
That is up drastically because I think he dropped down to like 22% for a while.
Yeah, it was not great there for a while, Bob.
He's shooting 42% from mid-range, which puts him in the 62nd percentile. Last year, Shaedon was 71% at the rim. That was a 92nd percentile. His effective field goal percentage is almost exactly what it was last year. 51.9 last year, 51.8 this year, and that's with this recent shooting uptick.
Yes.
So, Jeremy Grant probably out again tonight. He is dealing with an Achilles tightness. Which, boy, the Cavs and Achilles not looking great, not just for the Portland Trailblazers, but around the NBA.
Yeah, and especially at his age and Drew Holiday's age, who is still out, by the way, with a calf strain. And what do calf strains often lead to?
Ding, 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 ding.
There we go.
Don't want to see those. But the Portland Trailblazers take on the Detroit Pistons tonight. The 99-2000 team is in the house. I heard a little interview with Mike Dunleavy where he was asked about the Western Conference Finals Game 7 against the Lakers, blowing a 15-point lead, and, Rasheed Wallace missing 4 shots, Steve Smith missing 4 shots, Bonzi missing a couple bunnies. But you know what the thing he highlighted as the issue?
Too soon.
Of those 13 shots, he said 11 of them weren't just good, they were great. The other 2 were just good.
Yeah.
He goes, the thing that was probably the biggest issue was Sabonis picking up his 5th and then his 6th foul. He goes, I put Arvydas back in with, I think, 6 minutes to go, and he picked up his 5th foul. And I didn't say it then. I hold on to it, and I don't want to say it now, but I'm going to say this right now. That 5th foul was a phantom foul that no one ever calls.
Yeah.
I love you, Mike Dunleavy. I love you.
But going back, looking at dude, this team was stacked. My Lord. Just even going alphabetically here, you got your Greg Anthony and your Stacey Augmon, your running Rebels teammates. Brian Grant, okay, Gary Grant. You got Tone in there, Joe Klein, Jermaine O'Neal, Scottie Pippen, Arvydas Sabonis, Detlef Schrempf, Steve Smith, Damon Stoudemire, Rasheed Wallace, Bonzi Wells. Dude, that was a roster.
And then Dunleavy brought up, if you look at the plus-minus against the Lakers that season, because I think they played them, 11 times, the plus-minus with Arvydas on the floor, they mopped the floor with the Lakers.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet.
Dunleavy's not bothered by it at all, though.
And the thing is, no, of course not. And the thing is, had that collapse not happened, they were gonna skate through the finals.
Oh, the Western Conference Finals was That was
Was
who's
the
going to
de
win the
facto
finals.
finals.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it was. All right, coming up next, we'll wrap up today's show and put a nice little bow on everything that we've covered coming out of the sports weekend that was. Here on 105.1, The Fan.
The firm of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day,
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, as we wrap up today's show on the firm of Harrison Meringue, appreciate you all for listening, whether you're listening on 105.1 on 1080 AM or on the YouTubes or whatever streaming platform or replay platform that you partake in. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for hanging out with us on this wonderful, wonderful Monday. And I'm going to go full Jack Nicklaus. Full Few Good Men. I could not think of Few Good Men there.
Yep.
You can't handle the truth.
Yep.
Suck it, Notre Dame. You need us more than we need you. If you've been listening to the Jeff Russ update, the
BYU
USC
not quite filling that hole in
the schedule
like USC would.
Exactly. USC and Notre Dame will not play. They have not renewed their rivalry. Look, I want to continue the rivalry. It's one of the best and longest running rivalries in college football. But USC was like, look, we want it at the beginning of the season. We don't want it at the end of the season when we're in the thick of Big Ten play and when you don't play conference ball.
Yeah.
Sorry, dog. You don't get to have something nice and shiny at the end of your schedule to make things look better for you because your schedule sucks most of the time.
Yeah, we're not going to do this the opposite way of the SEC and put in Citadel and Little Sisters of the Poor. And
Notre Dame was like, well, no, we can't have
10.
that. We like to have Eastern Illinois there because we like to have all of our cupcakes at the beginning of the season. And then our one tough game we have at the end of the year. Go look at Notre Dame's schedule next year. You can sit here and be mad at me all you want.
Sounds like a challenge.
You can sit here and be mad at me all you want. The whole of USC, Notre Dame, and my USC bias. Notre Dame needs this more than USC does.
Yes.
By leaps and bounds. And the whole idea of like USC isn't playing along. No. USC was perfectly happy keeping this going, just moving it to the earlier part of the schedule. Which, awesome. Yeah. I would love to have USC Notre Dame in the first 5 weeks of the season. Right? Who doesn't want a kick-ass game in the beginning of the season? I would. There was a tradition. I'm like, yeah, man, go play a real schedule, Notre Dame. I don't know about you guys. Me personally, I'm tired of Notre Dame. I was already tired of them. But then we're not going to go to a bowl game. No, we're going to blame USC for this. No, man. I've had enough of this school.
Let's see here. So 2026, week 1 versus Wisconsin in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
They then host Rice.
Mm-hmm. You can't lose to food.
They host Michigan State at Purdue, at the Fighting Bill Belichick's and Bobby Petrino's. They play Navy in Foxborough. Host Miami.
There you go. A game.
Host Boston College. Host SMU. Host Stanford. At Syracuse. At BYU.
And then you know what? BYU, you're solid. 2 games of their schedule that are worth a damn.
Miami and BYU.
2 games.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guess who you need, buddy?
Huh?
Our schedule's going to be tough every year for the most part. Every now and then we may get lucky. We may get Oregon schedule this year, Ohio State schedule this year.
But the thing is, does Notre Dame need USC? Because...
Well, what did we just see?
But, yes.
I'm just saying, what did we just see?
However... look, you pencil in Notre Dame with a loss or 2 every year, and they're going to be right there, buddy boy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They lose to Miami. They play BYU tight.
Yeah. Guess what? They're in because they're Notre Dame.
Well, we saw that this year, though.
And it's because of the color of the helmet and the name on the front of the uniform.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give it to you. Suck it, Notre Dame.
Just saying. That'll happen.
I'm sick and tired of them.
Whether you like it or not, it'll happen.
Nobody likes them now.
When did anybody?
Well, I mean, they're a national brand. They are.
Well,
Look,
yes, they are.
I hate the school, but they're a national brand. They are probably, arguably, the national brand. I can't remember who we had on when we were at Army Navy that we were talking about the idea of Notre Dame being saved. Oh, I believe it was the play-by-play guys. For Army Navy, they brought up that Notre Dame, the reason that their university lived was because they moved the first ROTC on campus was at Notre Dame in World War II.
Well,
really wish they hadn't done that. Really wish they hadn't done that. Let them go down.
Oh, boy.
Let them go down.
Let them go down.
Just
F them Catholics.
Not got nothing wrong with the Catholics. It's just those Golden Domer douches.
It's just those Catholics.
Yeah, those ones over there. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. All right, the Portland Trailblazers 2 take on the Detroit Pistons tonight. The Blazers-Pistons was a hell of a game last game. Hopefully it's another one of those. The Blazers, if they can steal one of these games, they've got, Detroit and Orlando back-to-back, I think is what it is. People ask me, who are they playing tonight? Man, I do my prep like night before.
Let's see here. Detroit
Orlando.
Tonight. Yes, Orlando tomorrow night.
I have all the games in my phone. I'm always like, okay, who do they have coming up? I never look past like 2 games. because it all just starts. I've done like more than 1,000 of these now, and I'm just like, oh, that's right. This is all just kind of blended together.
I've not really looked at the injury report for the Pistons yet, but are we going to get an appearance from one of my favorite nicknames in all of sports? It looks that way. Beef Stew.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And Beef Stew he's always looking for beef, and he'll stew it up. So that's what we got tonight on the docket. Closing Arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. Jeff Russ, thank you today. Appreciate you, big fella.
Absolutely.
No Harris today, no Harris tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow again with Rusty to wrap up your Christmas week coverage. We will have a ton of leftovers from the NFL weekend because we colleged so hard. I'll probably work quite a bit of basketball. Next to a doubleheader for the Portland Trail Blazers heading into the break. But other than that, thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. Enjoy. Stay safe on this nice, comfy, cozy Christmas week. And we will catch you tomorrow. Happy Hour with Dusty Hara up next here on 105.1 The Fan. Take care. Talk soon. Bye.